died. Hunter Baumgart was in the locker room when it happened. Hunter, I'm sure you're a little jet lagged, or should I say car lagged, from driving down to St. Louis and back over the weekend. But congratulations to you for a good decision. And thank you for being here with us today. We would have given you the day off, but we're not in charge.
Hey, well, I wanted to be back before the show, and thank you to the Cincinnati Reds for making that a realistic possibility yesterday with the 4-game sweep of the Cubs, which is unbelievable at this time of the season.
That is glorious.
It is 4 straight losses by the Cubs after they celebrated their wild card berth on Wednesday afternoon.
Oops.
Whoops. Yeah, but the Brewers, kind of, it's almost become tradition. Let's celebrate after a loss. That's one way to make sure that you have a good flight after losing a game, right?
Yeah, 2023, they clinched on a loss. 2024, last year, they ended up winning. Cubs lost earlier in the day, so they knew they won the division, but they won on a walk-off over the Phillies. And this year it was a loss in the game, but a win afterwards with the Cubs taking the L.
Yep. So how long was the wait? Did you talk to Murph or the Cubs? What was the lag time between the Cubs losing and the Brewers finishing?
Yeah, I'd say 25 minutes maybe or so, because we walked all the way down and just sat outside the clubhouse, and I would assume that they watched it together. So
they held the availability for you guys
correct.
Until that's a violation.
So we just held.
Yeah. I'll be filing a grievance. Baseball writers clubhouse is supposed to open, 10 to 15 minutes after the game. So
yeah, we waited for the end of that. Then they all got their shirts. Then Murph made his speech, and then they popped the champagne, and that's when we were allowed in. And then all of a sudden it was slip and sliding in the old Cardinals visiting clubhouse.
They did quite the dance party there. Looked like
they did.
So
Sal's got some moves.
So clearly, were there any questions asked and ansed about the 9 innings that took place?
No,
on Sunday?
Honestly, nothing.
Anything
we never asked about Gasser. We never. No, Fetty pitched. I felt like most of the afternoon. That was a game. That was,
you know what? I think
Fetty
pitching and Anderson pitching as much as they are. Obviously, they got to stretch the pitchers out, but they're trying to figure out who isn't going to be around in 2 weeks.
They're trying to figure that out. Of course, Terang, Frelick, and Yelich were all out of the lineup as well, and Contreras obviously. So that was quite a quite a performance, but it all kind of got washed away with champagne, literally.
Yeah, I saw that Freddie Peralta was there, and it. Right away, I saw him taking part in the celebration and stuff, and I thought, wow, if that wasn't on the table, he might have taken a plane early. A lot of times they send pitchers early, different when you're going to the West Coast, but sometimes they give pitchers the option of like bailing if they're going to start the next game, and then they don't have to get in late, and they can get more acclimated and get time. That wasn't going to be the case because Freddie was going to be part of the celebration.
Oh, obviously. Yeah, he wouldn't be denied.
Yeah. So, a nice picture of the guys that have been there the longest that I saw with Mark Atanasio and Murph and Yelich and Freddie.
Yeah, that was a Sophia Minert creation. She grabbed them all and was like, you guys are taking a picture. The longest tenured Brewers, Peralta, Woody, and Yelly with Murph and Mark as well. So, that was really neat. That was, that's the story of the Brewers' success over the last 8 seasons.
Okay, so now with a first-round bye secured, we can focus on holding off the Philadelphia Phillies, right? Mm-hmm. Fighting Phils for the number 1 overall seed. Not that big a deal. Nice to have. 100 wins. Have we given up on that yet? It's still mathematically possible, right? But
5-1, they'd have to go.
Be unlikely, but it'd be nice
to sweep one of the series.
Yeah, that would be.
Don't give up on anything until it's over.
No, you just play them.
Keep chipping away.
You're facing a Padres team tonight that is still in grind mode.
Yeah,
they're in grind mode, and it's going to be fun. Late night, 8:40 first pitch tonight. Brewers and the Swinging Friars. But Hunter, what did you come away with? What stood out to you from this? Because now you're getting to be a veteran at this. You're still not learning to stay dry. I was pretty good at keeping myself dry during that.
I've gotten better.
Head on a swivel.
But oh boy, yeah. I think actually, the first year is when I got soaked the most. This one was a little. I was able to dodge it for the most part. I really took away one takeaway was that Yelich really was literally and figuratively soaking it all in. There's a lot of times where he was just kind of sitting in the back and just kind of watching everybody celebrate. And I think it was more so just a proud accomplishment of what he's accomplished as a Brewer, what the rookies and what the young players have done. And just, kind of taking it all in as the elder statesman, so to speak, with Woody, with Peralta. But Yeah, he was just it was you could tell he was soaking this one in, and he's talked to the team about how this isn't normal to just have champagne celebrations for a division title every year like they have the last 3 years.
Well, let's make it normal, shall we?
Yeah, they are. Basically, they are.
You know?
They have been 4 of the last 5, right?
That's incredible.
That's a pretty good. Yeah, and then here come all the talking texters, the Eeyores. They never win a championship. Oh, this is.
Well, you don't know that yet.
It's
so
pretty.
shut up.
This is pretty good. That's a pretty good alternative, because as we work through the day, we've got the Brewers, and they're just, like we say, the window just opening of a young team that's good, and window just opening of what's going to happen in the postseason, entering the great unknown of the postseason, and with all of its kind of randomness and wonderfulness. And you always forget that. You forget how many times did people write off the Bucks on their route to the championship. It's a roller coaster ride, and the roller coaster, the drops get more intense in October. The peaks and valleys are way more intense. So enjoy, as Warren Zevon said, enjoy every sandwich, enjoy every champagne celebration. Hunter, did you pick up any corks off the floor? I should have told you to do that
this time.
Should have told you to do that.
We
started that with Pedro Gomez back in the day, and now you got to pick up the corks.
One of my friends
the only thing
reminded
you
me
can
before
grab.
I went in too, and I even forgot.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a chaotic scene. That is one scene where it's like there's so much going on, you don't really know where to focus.
It really is,
Wow.
and it's tough to collect any kind of. Not much journalism is conducted in those situations. It's like crashing a rave and trying to get people to talk coherently about what they're experiencing during the middle of a rave when everybody's kind of
is a clinching celebration in the locker room. Is it like opening day and a lot of the creasters show up? And by creasters, I mean, if you're referring to Catholics, the Christmas and Easter Catholics. Okay, so are the guys that show up on opening day and then the clinching day that you never see at all?
It can be. It's at home, but not on the road.
Yeah,
usually.
not on the road, but at home you'll see it.
At home, it's that's when you see people. That's when you see people who kind of want to get doused.
So that they
show
for
their
own
news directors that they're there for their own reel.
Yeah, for their own Insta.
Yeah, for your reel.
I mean, I can say this: if you want people, anyone who, as we move forward and look toward the championship, run to the championship, right? Anyone who wants to hit us with text saying they can't win anything, you're going to be on your own. I'm not even going to acknowledge them. Man, if you can't sit back and enjoy the ride and all you're going to do is worry about what may or may not happen, that's kind of the energy. I don't have time for that energy. It's just go, man, support your team. I'm not being a cockeyed optimist.
No,
what I'm being is just enjoy the flippant moment.
It is a mindset thing. That's why we were talking
really
about
is.
What did we do Friday? We said, hey, what's your biggest concern going in? It made people feel a little better that they're now the Woodruff injury is a concern.
It is. And there is a question that I want people to germinate on, and later in the
Yes, we'll be talking more Brewers in the 4:00 hour of the program. When we come back, our special Beers on the Table guest will have an extended conversation with our pal Jim Polzin, columnist from the Wisconsin State Journal. We'll start with Packers, and then we're going to get into the whole Badgers thing because, you talk about good, bad, and ugly. Well, I think you know where we're going with that order of things. We will talk to Jim Polzin coming up next. It's the Beers on the Table hour. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
The shocking loss in Cleveland.
And it is good. And the Cleveland Browns have won.
This is Reaction Monday on the Game.
Nagging pain in your back, hip, shoulder, or anywhere in between? You've stretched, iced, rested, and it's still there. It's time for something that actually works. At Game Day Men's Health, they offer EPAT therapy, a non-invasive, FDA-approved treatment that uses pressure waves to trigger healing at the source. No pills, no needles, no downtime. Just targeted in-office therapy that breaks down scar tissue, boosts blood flow, and speeds up recovery. Drew Wilson from 97 through the game. I tried EPAT for the first time for pain in my elbow, and honestly, it made a difference fast. No recovery time. I was back doing what I love. Well, I don't really love working out, but I was back doing it pain-free thanks to the EPAT therapy at Game Day Men's Health. EPAT is proven to treat pain in the neck, back, heel, elbow, hip, shoulder, ankle, you name it. No risk of infection, no side effects, and most guys see improvement in just a few sessions. Book your free consultation at GameDayMen'sHealth.com and get up to 33% off your treatment if you sign up in the month of August. With 5 area locations for Game Day Men's Health, you can heal smarter, move better, and feel stronger.
Hey, NFL fans, I know you'd do anything for a win and an ice-cold Bud Light. The clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. A win isn't a win without the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. This season, visit Cheryl's Club 175 in Richfield, Double D Sports Club in Hell's Corners, Steady's Milwaukee, and Rivals in Kenosha. And enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light during the game. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Come be part of a legacy that never stops. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1 day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
You work hard to provide for yourself and your family, and that's why identity theft is so scary. Not only does it pose a threat to your financial well-being, everything you've worked so hard for, but it's also a danger to your family. Even children can be victims. It's not their money thieves go after, obviously, but their social security number. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Act now and save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela. Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Continuing the Beers on the Table Hour, Drew and KB bringing it to you from the Iron Jock Studios, built by Reamer Remodel. Happy to be joined by a guy who does double duty most weekends covering football for the Wisconsin State Journal. Our favorite columnist from the 608, Jim Polzin, is with us. Jim, thanks for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going. I said we're going to go bad and ugly in that order. So let's do the Packers first. I was reading some of your thoughts on the game, and we are completely aligned. I think what made yesterday so shocking and painful was that it was just such a departure from the way the Packers played in weeks 1 and week 1.5. in the 2 home games. It looked like a different operation in every way. They weren't crisp. There was penalties galore, and the offensive line was porous. It just seemed like such a come down, and I think that makes the loss even worse. No idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think I thought all along throughout yesterday's game that, okay, it's ugly, but you're doing just enough. And if you win an ugly game on the road, it's not easy to do that in the NFL, right? And that was the first 3 quarters. And then the fourth quarter was just a complete meltdown, really all 3 phases. You mentioned the penalties. That's the thing that got me the most is 14 penalties is a crazy number. And the types of some of those penalties was, atrocious. And the thing that it was something that Matt LaFleur had addressed going into the game. Like he thought there were too many penalties last week. To have 14 this week just was an incredible amount of not being disciplined and head scratching on a lot of levels.
It did seem like there was a lot of mental lapses, that there were a lot of mistakes that were made that really that shouldn't have been made, especially with some of the defensive calls and penalties.
Yeah, and I was going to say the false starts too. I mean, like that's the stuff where it's focused. And yes, you can say that Jordan Morgan was a guy who had a couple of those false starts and was only thrown in the game because of injury situation, offensive line. But I don't think that's an excuse for an NFL player to not be focused in a game that you feel pretty good about. You're in control. You're right. Like that's the frustrating part. Is like I think Green Bay was the more talented team. But they were not the more disciplined team yesterday, and they let one slip away that, I don't want to go panic mode because I think this is still a good team that's going to win a lot of games. But down the road, this loss, maybe it's the determination between a 2 and 3 seed or 3 and 4 seed or 1 and 2 seed, whatever. It's just it's one that's going to stink for a while.
Did you get the impression? I kind of did, and I don't know if it's an accurate analysis or not, but that Jordan Love was trying to play a little bit better than he was able to, thinking that, he might have been able to do things that he just wasn't able to do. It seemed like he made some decisions in particular, like at the end of the third quarter, and not just letting the clock run out. Saying, now I'm going to make the big play here. It's like he was playing with a little bit of gravitas instead of his head.
So I think that's where it turned, Drew, or KB. I thought through the first 3, I was kind of lining up what I was going to write for my story that's got to be written at the buzzer. And I had Jordan Love as a positive, not because I thought he was playing that great, just because I thought, hey, he was doing enough as a game manager to guide this team through. You're going against a good defense. You don't want to be stupid. Your team has really good defense and is going against a poor offense. You're up by 10, just be game manager and don't make bad decisions. And then I thought it kind of turned right the final play of the third quarter into the fourth quarter where it seemed like he kind of froze up. The interception was bad, although I think Matt LaFleur took partial blame for that, for a bad play call. But there were some throws to dump offs to Josh Jacobs that Jordan Love kind of sailed. I just thought pretty much everything he could have done wrong in that fourth quarter, he did. And that's where you just need someone, a veteran quarterback, to kind of just guide you to the finish line. Even if it's not pretty, an ugly win to take you to 3-0 is so much better than what happened yesterday.
I've seen a lot of folks weighing in on Love's performance and the touchdown drive. The one time, first of all, he was under siege a lot, pressured on half of his dropbacks, 5 sacks. He got some, and not just 5 sacks, but some of those were kind of, the kind that rattle your fillings a little bit. He got rocked a couple of times, but he did the touchdown drive. He was fantastic. And even the touchdown pass to Fitzpatrick, that was a great patient throw. He was looking for Matthew Golden. He didn't force it. He found the open tight end for a touchdown. He was great in that. And he brought them back and set them up for what should have been the game-winning field goal. We should be talking today about how clutch Jordan Morgan was on a tough day. I mean, Jordan Love was on a tough day. And instead we're focused on, the things that he didn't do. So, I mean, it's comes with the paycheck, right? And comes with the position. But it seems like if we're going to be doing a referendum on whether Jordan Love is the guy they can win with, if that's going to happen every loss or every week, it's going to be an ugly fall.
Yeah, no, I'm not, and I'm not there. I hope that's not how I'm coming off. I think
you're not.
He's fine. I don't know if I sit there and list the reasons they lost yesterday, where Jordan Love ranks on that list. However, you're right. The position he plays, it's kind of where you look first after a game. I mean, to me, if I'm listing reasons they lost yesterday, penalties is first and foremost, and that's on the individual players certainly, but that's Matt LaFleur has to take responsibility for that. I mean, that was an undisciplined team yesterday. So I can't put it anywhere else but on him for that loss. But Jordan Love is somewhere up there only because the quarterback has to be.
Penalties, clock management, special teams, like a lot of things that have bothered them in the past. And it's like, okay, when are they? We got to address that. Got to clean it up. Well, when can we expect the cleanup? That's the frustration in watching that sometimes. And then, Jim, some of the things, like Billy and I are watching it, and we're getting ready for Packers OT, taking the calls of the angry populace. And little things like Xavier McKinney's pick was great. Interceptions are great and stuff, but he was in a situation on fourth down where he should have just knocked the ball down and maybe given the Packers like a chance for a Hail Mary or something. He took the interception. Okay, you can live with that. But then at the end of the game, the last play before Cleveland kicked the winning field goal, they basically let Cleveland get up and get to the line and spike the ball with time elapsing. Nobody jumped on the receiver. Like they take their time. They didn't kill the clock like they could have. And that was, to me, is a huge miss. Like somebody's got to know what's going on and know the situation, but you didn't see it.
Yeah, you got to practice situations like that. I mean, at some point, and again, I don't want to blame youth, but this is always one of the youngest teams. Although I think there were enough veterans on the field at the time that you're right, they could have done that. They were also offside on the game-winning field goal. So if that somehow didn't go in, he gets another chance. It was just one thing after another in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter was as bad as I've seen this team play in a while. For an entire quarter, it was one of those games where if you just do one thing right, you're through into the next week, and it's ugly, but you win. And it went all wrong.
Do we know if Jordan Love or anyone for that matter went into the huddle and said, "Hey, who's got Schlesinger?" Because damn, it just seems he almost single-handedly kicked their ass. I mean, everyone was looking at Myles Garrett, and yeah, I mean, Schlesinger is well known. But man, did he have a game.
Well, and I think that's what's happening to the Packers too, is like there's so much attention on one guy that the Micah Parsons effect has opened the door for Rashawn Gary. I think the same thing is like they couldn't stop talking about during the telecast yesterday that Matt LaFleur was had never prepared for one individual the way he had for Myles Garrett. And I think when you do that, that's great. You have to do that because he's an absolute game wrecker. The problem is that Cleveland's got some really good players on that defense. And if you devote attention to one guy, there's certainly a chance other guys are going to come up and wreck the game. And yeah, I mean, that happened yesterday. That was part of the reason why Green Bay's offense just didn't look good, is because they're going against a really good defense. And I don't want to underrate that defense, but man, it was a winnable game that you let slip away, and that's the frustrating part.
That's right. Jim Polzin joining us from the Wisconsin State Journal, covers the Packers and the Badgers, who we're going to get to. Stay tuned, all of you Badgers fans who are waiting to hear Jim's thoughts.
Are they really?
Yeah, well, they are for sure. The Packers are a play action team, and they haven't been able to establish the running game very well in their first 3 games. And Jordan Love was taking a lot of shots. It was like striking how many shots he was taking downfield. Now you're seeing it. I'm sure everybody's seen it on social media. The pass that he did hit to Matthew Golden, when Golden kind of veered out of bounds rather than turning upfield, it should have been 6, should have been a house call and things like that. So I still think that people are maybe hypercritical of Jordan Love. He did get them in position like that last drive against the best defense that had owned them all day, a couple plays and you're in field goal range to win the game with 26 seconds left. And it didn't happen. So where are we on Love? He'll be fine. I expect them to have a pretty big day against Dallas based on what we saw yesterday. Then again, the NFL, not for long. It's a week-to-week league. So what do you think about that outlook going into Sunday night? I think that the offensive line's got to play better.
I think you're right. And I was thinking about that when we were talking about Jordan Love before, is he has been handcuffed by a ground game that has gone nowhere. And part of it is this offensive line isn't fully healthy. You lose Zach Tom right away. You lose Aaron Banks during the game. You're shuffling around guys within the game, and that has not helped. But even when things were the health was good in the first game, it didn't seem like that running game is clicking, and they needed to. I mean, they needed to. I think defenses are focusing on that more. Certainly, I think we've heard the players say that a couple times. So you got to find ways around that. In week 2, Tucker Kraft was a big playmaker. I think Cleveland went out of its way yesterday to slow him down, and he's obviously a little bit banged up too. But yeah, you need that running game to get going so you can have a balance. So you take some of the pressure off Jordan Love, because I do think that this can't go on all season, just in terms of making him be the playmaker.
Is this defense the best defense the Packers have fielded since you've been, patrolling the press box up there?
I think for quite a while. I mean, I was hesitant to say that after week 1 or 2 because you want more of a sample size. But yes, my big concern was in the back end, like Keshawn Nixon. I thought the cornerbacks was the one area that might be problematic this year, and I thought those guys through 3 games have been really good. Keshawn Nixon had a really good start to the season. So, yeah, I think there's, they finally are pretty much able to get home with 4 guys up front and not have to be so relying on the blitz. I think they have playmakers at every level. I think Micah Parsons just brings a brand new dimension to this defense. So, yeah, I think this is a defense that will keep you in games if the offense cooperates. I still think this could be one of the better teams, certainly in the NFC and maybe the NFL.
They've been pitching shutouts pretty much, early. They haven't given up a first half touchdown, have they? And Cleveland wouldn't have scored yesterday had they not been handed the ball on the 4-yard line and then given a penalty and had it at the 1. They probably wouldn't have been able to score on their own. So that was a borderline dominant defensive performance. And it's just weird that we have to adjust to this is a defense first team because we're so used to the offense having to carry them every Sunday. When the defense gives up 13 points, the Packers should win. Matt LaFleur should win. I felt like Matt LaFleur got pantsed by Jim Schwartz yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the one thing, if I'm being somewhat critical of the defense, I think the one thing I want to see a little bit more of is turnovers, right? Like that's, you want to see some strip sacks or interceptions or something to kind of change momentum. If they get one of those yesterday, maybe they take Cleveland out of the game, but it's hard to complain about this defense because I think it's been very, very good.
And looking at a couple of things that kind of stood out to me was that offensively, he only had 4 targets, but I think, Matthew Golden has to be kind of in this game a little bit more, brought into the game plan a little bit more. I mean, he had only 4 targets, 4 receptions on those 4. Then, he rushed for a handful of yards, not many. But defensively, Quay Walker had a lot of tackles, and his play has changed quite a bit. I think that those were 2 bright spots that I saw.
Yeah, I think Quay Walker, I'm not going to say that he's not an improved player this year because I think he has. But again, I think the Micah Parsons effect has kind of made everybody in that defense better. Rashawn Gary's a better player because Micah Parsons. Lucas Van Ness is a better player because Micah Parsons is around. I think Quay Walker can fit in that category. Heck, I think Keshawn Nixon fits in that category too. So I think there were plenty of bright spots defensively. I just think offensively, this team, that group let this team down. And then, getting a kick blocked, right? You do all you can to lose that game in the 4th quarter. And like you said, Jordan Love gets you in position to win that game. And then the field goal gets blocked. It was just one error after another in the 4th quarter.
Did you get the same sense that I did kind of that with that blocked field goal? It seemed like there was a feeling, okay, this is automatic. And that maybe the intensity up front was not there as it should be for a field goal.
They almost got the first one blocked.
Right.
It should have.
But I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, this is automatic. And Cleveland just wanted that a little bit more.
I think Cleveland had all the momentum at the end of that game. Their fans were into it. I mean, that's a fan base that desperately wants success.
Yeah.
And
avoid 0-3.
Yeah. I do think there was a little bit of shock probably in the system of the Packers, the way that 4th quarter played out. I mean, you're up with double digits with 5 minutes to go, right? And all of a sudden you're facing not only the game not going into overtime, but a possible loss. And yeah, there was some let up. I think there was some just shock, culture shock.
Culture shock. That's a great transition because now we're going to talk about the Badgers. Culture shock. They lost to Maryland. I didn't see it coming to that degree of them being, just basically uncompetitive against a freshman quarterback starting his first road game and a team that I don't know how good they're going to be. They might be improved, but I don't know how they're going to be in the Big Ten. But as I was watching that unfold Saturday, Jimmy, I was saying like, this might be rock bottom. And then I realized, there's 8 games left.
Yeah.
We haven't plumbed the depths yet. We're going to be spelunking this fall the way things are going. I don't think they'll be favored in a game. And I can't look at that schedule and say that they're going to win a game. Mm-hmm. So if we're into year 3 of the Luke Fickell experience and they don't win a game in the league, what has Wisconsin bought other than some really cool social media hype videos and a
it's
DJ
ugly.
for squat day?
It's ugly, Drew. I honestly, I kept saying on Saturday, I can't believe this is where this program's at, right? You lose at Alabama and don't look very good, and that's one thing. But to come home and show no urgency and just over and over do things to get yourself beat and show no real fight against a team that you absolutely had no business losing to. It's just the schedule is tough, but that is one of the games you had to win. There's no reason this Wisconsin shouldn't have won that game. And you're right. Like all of a sudden, I was trying to before that game, I was trying to kind of convince myself that there was still a path to a bowl game. And now you look at it, they're not going to be favored. There's the path to 4-8 suddenly looks difficult. And that is
no doubt.
It's a sad situation. And I don't know what the way out of it is. We can talk about what was chanted on Saturday if you want to. It is a mess. It's a complicated mess.
Well, if the way I looked at it, if the Big Ten was the Indy 500, the Badgers have flamed out. They've spun out in turn one. I agree. I can't see when you start looking at what's coming up. I don't see a path to anything right now. And then, so it comes up with Luke Fickell. Should you fire him? I'm not one who always calls for the firing of people. I think there are a lot of things at play. Number one, you've got a very young offensive line, right? But now you couple it with the ramifications of the transfer portal, and although it's kind of changed slightly, and with NIL, you look at it and go, if I'm one of these young kids, or if I've got these three guys, 5 years ago, you could go, I got three young guys that are playing, red shirts that are playing the offensive line. I'm going to take my lumps this year. But you can't count on that because now it might be, well, yeah, I got some good training at Wisconsin. Thanks a lot. I'm going to go over here and play. Thanks for the coaching up. And there's nothing to keep them there. And you could get into a cycle where you just can't get out of it because everyone's blowing out on you.
Yeah, where I was at before the season started was I'm almost always a believer that coaches deserve 4 years because then you get to see their recruits kind of get to be upperclassmen. And my message, like I wrote this column back in July, I think before camp started, was, for all the fire Fickell crowd, just be patient. Just let this play out a little bit. But that's a tough message now. I mean, that's after Saturday, I don't know how you convince people of that. And for me, it's NIL. Everything you said, KB, is right. NIL makes this all complicated, but not when you lose at home to Maryland and are down 20-0 at the half. That's not an NIL conversation. That's something different. The way this team played, just ignore the quarterback, offensive line injuries. Those are things you can talk about when evaluating Luke Fickell, but they got a punt blocked. They threw Billy Edwards Jr. out there when it was very clear that he was not healthy enough to play, and then expect him to stay healthy behind that offensive line. That decision in and of itself made no sense. And so when you do that, when you make decision to say, hey, we're going to let Edwards play, then you're taking reps away from Danny O'Neal, and Danny O'Neal has a lot of faults. The last thing he needs is to go into a game with as few reps as possible. So there were so many head-scratching things that came out of that loss alone that got me wondering, what is the end game here? Like, when does this get better, or how does it get better? Or are we just kind of talking about the inevitable here, a matter of not when Luke Fickell gets fired, but if? And a lot of that comes down, I think, to when you want to pay him and how much you want to pay him.
Well, and that's the key question, because there are some people who say, I just get rid of him. Like, it's an easy impulse.
Through 2030, didn't they?
There's a $25 million, matzo ball that then you have to pay a new coach, and you might have to pay his school to let him out of his deal. And
then you're the Bucks.
And then you can say, okay, well, could that $25 million, if you were going to spend that, if you had it, could you go, shopping at, you get a couple players that could swing your whole roster, right? To get some of those guys that, quarterbacks are us or whatever. But to your point, Jim, is on a smaller scale, it's what the Packers did with Zach Tom. If he wasn't ready and he could only play a play, what were you doing? You should have had the other guys prepping like the whole week and just gone into it and said, okay, we'll see you in Dallas, Zach, right? So the Billy Edwards thing fascinates me because you're right. He didn't look ready. The line is porous. I saw him on the sideline riding the exercise bike, and it was like he wasn't going to return. So that decision was flawed from the get-go. And if that's the kind of decision making you're getting, the desperation and that went into it. Now, granted, you brought him in and he was going to play against his older team. It was probably hard to hold him back.
Right.
But that decision doesn't speak well of the whole the leadership.
No, especially since Luke Fickell's thing was might have to protect him from himself, right? Knowing it, and the message there was that, hey, this is a guy that's going to want to play against his old team. So the fact that they let him go out there, I was surprised. I was down on the field last week at Alabama watching him just to kind of get a gauge on where he was, and I thought then, I'm like, this guy's more than a week away from playing at a position where you need to be mobile, right? Like, especially with this offensive line, you need to be mobile. You're gonna have to escape the pocket at times. So when I heard last week that it was trending towards him playing, I was surprised, and really I can't believe the way it turned out the way it did. I'm stunned that decision was made. It just, again, it's one of those things where you kind of put in a pile of what are they doing here? Hiring Phil Longo was a head scratching decision in retrospect. He's made a bad hire at offensive line that he already had to fire after 1 year. It's been a series of bad decisions, and it's going to be hard to come back from those decisions.
Okay. So attendance is down.
Yeah.
Obviously the student section chant. I mean, I'm glad the students were there by the second quarter to chant their disgust as going into halftime, but you reach a Rubicon, and looking at the rest of the schedule, there's some marquee teams coming in. There's some big games that we were looking forward to that now you're almost dreading. And like starting with when they get off their bye and they play at Michigan now, that's the Fox game. Like you have to sit there and have Fox talk about you and have to go into that game on national TV because it's a soft week in the schedule and Michigan doesn't have an attractive home game till Ohio State. So the circumstances, the snowball's rolling down the hill, Jim. And I don't know where the relief is going to come.
Right. And the thing we haven't mentioned yet, and it's basically what I focused on in my column after the game Saturday, was it's one thing to call for Fickell's head, but the man who made that decision, Chris McIntosh, should be scrutinized right now, right? Like, not only for making that decision, there's other things that have happened over the last 2 years that make you question his leadership to some degree. So if you do fire Fickell, are you trusting Chris McIntosh to make that decision? I think that's got to be part of the calculus here. It's really the chancellor, Jennifer Mnuchin, who we don't know a lot about, frankly. She hasn't been here long enough, hasn't really spoken enough about sports to know where she's at, where her head is at. It's a tough spot. It really is. She just gave Chris McIntosh a raise and a contract extension 14 months ago. So it'd be costly. Like, I wrote this stuff down. It's like $4.46 million or $4.47 million to get rid of McIntosh as of today. McIntosh is Fickell as of today is $28.66 million, right? So that money is a lot of money. And Drew, I think it was you who said it before. Not only are you buying out those contracts, assistant coaches contracts, you then have to find the next guy and potentially buy that contract from the school. Like, it's messy. And I can understand why money would be a big factor in not making these decisions, but also something you hit on before was it's going to get to the point this year. Attendance is already down 10%. I don't know how you sell people on getting season tickets if this thing goes completely south and they finish 2-10 or 3-9. I just don't know how you convince people to come back to the stadium next year. And then you're losing a ton of money in revenue. So it's messy. And again, I don't know exactly how it gets fixed, certainly in the short term.
Well, yeah, or how you can fall off a cliff this quickly without some sort of NCAA sanctions too.
Yeah, well, okay, so as you pull back then and we look at it, when Luke Fickell was hired, universally lauded, best hire in the industry, best hire of that cycle, anybody would have made that. Anybody would have welcomed him coming in, right? I mean, so I don't see a flaw with that. I don't see that mistake. It hasn't worked out, as we've seen, but at the time, I don't remember much second guessing. It was just more excitement, right?
I will say this. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn here because I didn't. I thought here's where my mind was at in November of 2022 and December of 2022. I thought Jim Leonhard had done enough to earn the job, and I based that strictly on here's a guy who everything he's touched as a player, as a NFL player, as a defensive coordinator had turned to gold. And I thought, put in a tough situation at the end of the season, I thought 4-3, he had done enough to kind of take his vision into the future. So you kind of stick with some of the old, and a guy who I thought was pretty creative and would think so. But when they hired Luke Fickell, I got it, because if you're comparing Jim Leonhard and Luke Fickell resume wise, Luke Fickell had been to a playoff, established coach, 57-18 at Cincinnati. I get it. It's a hire that opened eyes around the country and kind of told people, hey, we're swinging for the fences, we're going for it. I wrote a column about 3 or 4 days after Fickell was hired, pointing out that, hey, it doesn't always work out with American coach, like the AAC coaches taking that next step. Scott Frost was a prime example of that in Nebraska. He had won at Central Florida, couldn't get it done at his alma mater. And when you kind of broke down Luke Fickell's record at Cincinnati, it was flimsy in terms of beating really great opponents. The year they got to the playoff, they beat Notre Dame, and that was really the only top team they had to do to get there. So there was at least a question mark coming when Luke Fickell arrived, that he had not beaten the best teams on the schedule, and that usually at Cincinnati you didn't have to beat many teams to have a great record. So that's my only pushback there. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I do think it was a hire that was lauded. You're right. I do think you could have poked some holes and at least raised some questions.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Now
he was the flavor of the day.
Yep.
And I was always skeptical. Yeah, he had success, but that's kind of like that's one of those fluke things when you have success like that at Cincinnati, because who did you play? You did have the one big win against Notre Dame, but after that, I mean, it's like who you had East Carolina or games like that.
Tulane,
Temple.
Memphis, yeah,
Memphis.
And it's Memphis, Tulsa.
That's true.
I mean, this is not. He did not.
That's true. But if we're going to use fluke and mirage, Jim, if we pull back even further, how warped are Badgers fans' expectations? We all lived it, but is it NIL and stuff? Is it the modernization? Is it the changes in college football hurting them? Or is it the fact that the Big Ten West doesn't exist anymore? Because that spot now, you look at it and it's like you talk about a fluke or a mirage. A lot of their success stemmed from not playing Michigan and Ohio State every year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
when they did, it wasn't pretty.
Right. I think all of the above here, right? I do think some of Wisconsin's success over the last however many years was playing who you did and when you played them. I think that's absolutely part of it. I think NIL has been a game changer, in part because I don't think this department was ready for NIL. And they knew it was coming, but they were slow to react. And it took a little bit while for the collective to get going, for them to kind of figure out a plan. The plan in their defense was constantly changing. The rules kept changing with NIL. Even now we're getting to a point where the rules are changing to some degree with the transfer portal. It has been chaos for the past, I would say, 4 years. And I think Wisconsin's been a little bit slow to react to that. So I think we're seeing a lot of things kind of coming together, and that's why it's certainly difficult just to blame one person or two people or whatever. It's been a lot of things that have combined to bring this program to where it is. But like KB said, it's really hard to believe that this is where it's gotten to, where they're losing games, not just losing games, but losing games by 42-10 at Iowa last year, 24-7 at home to Minnesota. They're down 27-3 at one point on Saturday against Maryland. It's just some of these losses you struggle to come out of them finding any positives, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, and with transfer, you got to think how many of these kids are going, I don't need this.
Well, and you want to
get out of here.
You want to sound like a really old guy. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, Wisconsin football was built on toughness and kids that came in as walk-ons and became All-Americans and stuff. And I hate to say it,
now they're entitled.
This generation of kids isn't wired that way.
No.
I don't think there are many people of that mindset. So
aren't any grinders.
in our mind, like what a Wisconsin football players, does that exist anymore? And
I was talking to somebody in the press box. I think it was at halftime on Saturday, and they were like, they were grumbling about when things turn for this program. Number one, some of these guys have not been around long enough to care, right? They're not true program guys.
Yep.
So a loss here or two doesn't kill them. And they're also the money has still hit the bank, right? The money's still in the checking account, whether you win or lose. And that's a tough place to be in when you're trying to build something, that lasts. So it's, again, I'll reiterate, I think it's a lot of things at play here. that have gotten them to this point, and which is the scary part is I just don't know how you dig yourself out of it. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know. I'll reiterate what I said before. I think he gets fired at some point. I just don't know if that's this year or next year. And so now you get into a point where you're playing a waiting game, and maybe you're putting yourself even further behind. But if you fire him now, you're spending a lot of money, and that's a tough thing to do in this climate.
That is. At a certain point, you'll cross the Rubicon, and I just feel like I couldn't declare Saturday rock bottom, even though I wanted to, because I think what's coming up next is going to be
get worse,
as bad and just as bleak.
All right, Drew, I specifically didn't use that phrase rock bottom because, again, I don't think I really don't think this is rock bottom.
And for all you Badgers fans who are angry, embrace that, because the next step is apathy, and that's the death sentence when people don't care.
One thing Chris McIntosh said after the game Saturday when he initiated interviews with our paper and the Journal Sentinel. When he was asked about the Fire Fickle chance, he said that's a sign that people care, and that there's the thing you don't want is apathy. To which I would say, if you look around that stadium on Saturday, there were a lot of empty seats. The apathy is starting, and season tickets being down 10%. That's a sign that apathy has started in this fan base, and I certainly hear it anecdotally. And I only think that's going to grow, which is why, again, I don't know what the right move is here, but if you don't fire him, I think the apathy level goes up and the anger level goes up.
It's going to happen. Jimmy, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. Great stuff as always. Love reading you. And, these young kids today aren't as good as the olden times, but you're right up there swinging with like Otzi and Lukey and the rest of the legends that you followed.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks, Jim. Jim Polzin, Madison.com, State Journal. Drew and KB, statewide on the game.
Sunburn Bowl 7 is coming this February, and our special guest this year, play-by-play legend and voice of the Packers, Wayne Larrabee.
Zabe, I've got my flip-flops packed already and 6 hours of Jimmy Buffett on my phone.
Thanks, Wayne. Can't wait. Don't miss out on the best Sunburn Bowl ever at the Hyatt Vivid Grand Island in Cancun. February 21st, presented by Travel Leaders and Discovery World Travel. Go to 973thegame.com and book your championship vacation today.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports, presented by the Harlem Globetrotters. Courtney Williams, 23 points, led the top-seeded Minnesota Lynx past the 4-seed Phoenix Mercury 82-69 on Sunday in Game 1 of their best-of-5 semifinal series. Kayla McBride scored 21 for Minnesota in the win, and Nafisa Collier added 18 points and 9 rebounds. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
This isn't just a game. It's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Come be part of a legacy that never stops. Be there when history is made. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
Gear up for October baseball. Brewers postseason tickets go on sale Tuesday, September 23rd. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run unlike any other.
Step into American Place Casino, where the excitement never ends. Located in Waukegan, Illinois, just a short drive from Milwaukee. Over 900 slot machines, your favorite table games, 4 restaurants, live entertainment, and now our brand new poker room. Plus, we're proud to be the friendliest casino around with service that sets us apart. Whether you're here to hit the jackpot, catch a game, or just have an unforgettable night out, American Place Casino has it all. American Place Casino. Closer than you think. Friendlier than you expect. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling, and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537.
The best bulls in the world have come to town. For bulls and their riders, those 8 seconds go by in a heartbeat. 8 seconds to become a champion, or nothing. It's bull time. Busch Light PBR Milwaukee, presented by Cooper Tires, bucks into Fiserv Forum January 16th and 17th. Get your tickets now at pbr.com/tickets or Ticketmaster. This is America, and this is PBR.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. We've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
You ever hear a deal so good you think, what's the catch?
Yes, when I got a free gym membership, and the catch was I still had to go.
Well, right now, Capital is offering great financing, no catch.
No selling a kidney?
Nope, just easy financing and honest service during Capital Credit Days. Now through October 31st, air conditioners start as low as $65 a month, furnaces only $59 a month, or a complete system only $117 a month.
Capital, where you choose cool or cozy with no catch financing.
Call CapitalCares.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
You took the elevator to the 48th floor and handed him the briefing. Your fingertips touched, sending a shockwave of desire through the air. The room pulsed with a silent craving as he drew you in with his smoldering gaze. Before uttering the words your body ached to hear.
The next train on track 2 is delayed.
And all the while, you were on your commute home. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover romance titles on Audible.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Dude, did you order the new iPhone 17 Pro? Got it from Verizon, the best 5G network in America. I've never looked so good.
You look the same.
But with this camera, everything looks better, especially me.
You haven't changed your hair in 15 years. Selfies?
Check, please. New and existing customers can get the new iPhone 17 Pro, designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever, with eligible phone trade-in and unlimited ultimate. Any condition guaranteed. Best 5G source root metrics data, United States, 1H 2025. All rights reserved. Trade-in and additional terms apply for all offers. See Verizon.com for details.
97.3 The Game.
Get ready for Monday. Game balls and kicks to the balls. Wink, McAllister, and more. All lies ahead this afternoon. Drew and KB up next, statewide on The Game.
Hey, it's KB from the Drew and KB Show, and I can humbly say this is the best shape I've been in since the Clinton administration, and it's all because of Milwaukee weight loss. I tried everything from New York Times bestsellers to nutrition apps, calorie counting, but nothing stuck. Then I found Milwaukee weight loss, and in a few months, I lost more than 30 pounds without starving, workouts, gimmick drugs. It was just real results that lasted. It's a doctor-developed program that resets your metabolism naturally. And the best part, my weight has stayed off. I feel better. I have more energy. And for the first time in years, I like the way I look. If you're tired of struggling with your weight, don't wait another day. Schedule your free consultation now. Just call 262-433-4008. That's 262-433-4008. Or visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Make sure to drop a KB on them and tell them you want to be a smart, good-looking, and thinner listener. Your results may vary.
Hey, NFL fans, I know you'd do anything for a win and an ice-cold Bud Light. The clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. A win isn't a win without the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And this season, visit Kelly's Bleachers Big Bend, Brothers Bar and Grill downtown, Stenny's Lake Country, and Jersey's Pub and Grill in Milwaukee. And enjoy an ice-cold Bud Light during the game. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Drew, and I have to tell you, I could not be happier with our new 97.3 The Game broadcast studio built by Reamer Remodel. It's been a game changer. If you have home improvement projects planned, Reamer Remodel is your go-to contractor. ReamerRemodel.com.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Celebrate 100 years of high-flying dunks, 100 years of show-stopping moves, and 100 years of changing the game. Bring the whole family and be part of the legacy. This game is once in a century. Be there at Fiserv Forum on December 26th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Save big money on your next project now at Menards. We've got it all, from big to small. Honeywell home thermostats keep your home's temperature comfortable through every season while saving on your heating and cooling bill. Hurry in today and save big money on Honeywell thermostats at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Broadcasting from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Reamer Remodel.
We're ready to roll, baby!
This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC, powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are #1. We just grabbed every key demographic. Yeah.
Live from the Iron Jock Studios and brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College Athletics, it's time to rock the rivers and shake the lakes with two guys fueled only by cheeseburgers, bourbon, and ice-cold beer at a reasonable price, of course. It's Drew and KB.
We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes.
Dork.
They look like a couple of dorks.
The reality is that anybody that knows Drew knows that he's been class personified.
I be trying my hardest to like people, and then they start to like breathe and talk and stuff.
KB brings just great instincts. That's what you love about him.
I'm mad. I have to go to work. I have to earn a living. I'd rather have a private income and get laid.
Do not end up in a hospital, newspaper, or jail. If you do end up in jail, establish permanently quickly.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Name something Abraham Lincoln probably used to ride on.
Miss Lincoln, like I'm on the bed bush.
Do you want to start drinking?
Yes.
I don't know what time it is, but I'm rolling deep.
How's the corn?
You know, I'm going to have to go for 420, Bob. Cheese it! Cheese it! Cheese it!
Light this candle.
He's right. Let's light this candle. Light the candle.
Good afternoon, smart, good-looking river rockers and lake shakers. Welcome to the show you didn't know you can't live without it, as Drew and KB broadcasting from the Iron Jock Studios, built by Reamer Remodel. I'm Drew Olson, joined by KB.
What is going on, brother man?
We are moments away from swinging it north.
All right.
65 Lombardi Avenue. Matt LaFleur going to meet with the media today now that he's seen the film after the Packers' disappointing/shocking 13-10 loss to the Cleveland Browns yesterday at Huntington Bank Park, whatever they call it, field, stadium, I don't know. Insert corporate sponsor here. Packers made a whole bunch of mistakes by the lake, and LaFleur is going to address them momentarily. In the meantime, it's the usual Monday shenanigans on our program. We just had an extended conversation with Jim Polzin on the Beers on the Table podcast-like hour of our show. You can check that out wherever you get your podcasts, because that Beers on the Table, our extended interview. I'm actually digging that now. I like doing that.
Extended
some stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna start. I've got some people lined up for when we don't have like heavy sports days. You know, that'll be interesting. It's not just going to be, hardcore Packers, Badgers, or Brewers people or Bucks people. We're going to spread it out a little bit. We got to get Trisha Whitaker back.
Yeah. Tomorrow on the program, it'll be Wayne Larrivee. So game balls and kicks to the balls today, a Monday tradition on the Drew and KB program. If you'd like to give someone a game ball for a job well done, you might have to search around a little bit after a rough weekend for the local teams, but you're free to do so. And today on the program, a game ball sounds like this.
Celebrate what you've done.
Oh, perfect pop there.
Perfect right there. Yes. Celebrate. That's exactly. Celebrate every step. Enjoy. And
enjoy every sandwich, right?
Yep. And conversely, if you want to kick someone to the huevos for a job, the performance improvement plan, just to kind of snap them to attention, get them to do better. A kick to the balls on the Drew and KB program on this Monday is right here.
Just Larry groan.
Just Larry. Oh no. Larry is carrying on the great tradition of analysts and Ron Santo. Oh no. He's got the yes, just like Rock does when things are going good and when things are bad. Oh no. And that was an oh no game. Packers played about 56 minutes of pretty good football, and then after that
just went brain dead.
Couldn't ask for less. 13-10. And again, I know the folks are the first people that you look at is the quarterback, usually coach and the quarterback, and the coach is stepping to the podium as we speak. Let's take it live to Green Bay and hear what Matt LaFleur is saying to the assembled reporters in the wake of the loss.
He's in the protocol.
Devontae dropped out, I believe, toward the end.
Yeah, I'd say he'll be day to day.
With Zach, did he further re-aggravated to a point where it's going to be a longer wait period?
I would say further re-aggravated. I think it was more or less. It's always hard to simulate what you're going to face in a game, and I think he just. And I mean, you'd have to ask him, but I just think that the force of the guy that he's going against, it hurt him. So he didn't feel like he could go.
I talked to him on Friday, and he seemed to be struggling with, I need to be there for my team. They're counting on me, and I can't go out there if I'm not going to be effective. So how do you get from him feeling that way to giving him the green light? And then, I mean, like you said, after the game, you can't have that happen.
Yeah, it's tough. Like I said, I just think I would chalk it up to, it's hard to simulate what these guys are going to go against in the game. I mean, we did our best in terms of trying to put them through enough, and certainly had them going in practice. But still, the game it's a different speed.
But you're confident there's no setback there, right?
Correct.
I know it's apples to oranges here, but Jair in 23 had the knee injury, and it seems a struggle to get him back on the field. Is there something that's to be done about the return to play protocol, for lack of a better word, just to make sure that when a guy's ready, that he really is ready?
I think there's every situation is a little bit different. So I'm confident in our guys. I think they do a great job. They're thorough. Certainly the players got say so into the return to play as well. And in terms of their confidence level, obviously, first and foremost, you have to be cleared medically. And we never want to put a guy out there that could potentially have a setback. So I think those guys do a really thorough job.
It has been a conservative staff kind of by nature over the years. Does that change a little bit to maybe have a players a little bit more say than typical, or?
No, I think it's been pretty consistent, at least in my time here. So,
Matt, you obviously care a lot about defense. You guys call it that. But I'm just, you and Rich, what do you guys need to do?
We're gonna be on time, Matt.
American Airlines Bowl.
What do you and Rich need to do so that you can get some, like, you've got a really good battery that you're happy with, but then it always feels like there's another challenge that you're dealing with.
The unfortunate thing about whether, special teams in general is when there is a mistake, a lot of times they're like catastrophic mistakes. And so obviously the end of the game, that's a bad one to have happen. But all in all, I thought just in terms of I would say most of the emphasis typically when you're just talking across the league is placed on punt. And, you're doing everything you can not to get a punt blocked. I think sometimes you can take for granted the field goal block. Obviously, yesterday, I think was an extreme across the league in regards to the number of blocks that happened. Bottom line with us, I think it comes down to just being disciplined and trusting your technique and what you're coached to do on a daily basis. And unfortunately, we got lifted and we played with poor pad level, and we didn't take the correct steps and just didn't perform the right technique. And so if you don't do that against a really good team that is going to rush hard, you're susceptible to having a catastrophic event occur.
Was there any issue with the trajectory of the kick or the timing of the operation or anything like that?
No, I thought the timing was fine. Who knows with the trajectory? There was so much push, and we also didn't do a great job on the edge. Ward came through, and I couldn't tell if he got a hand on it. We think he may have nicked it, but all in all, it wasn't good enough.
Hey, Matt, with Jordan Morgan, I know you guys pride yourselves on Zach Tom and Elton being able to do a lot of different things. He's made it pretty clear he feels most comfortable at left tackle. Do you think you're spreading him too thin, or
I think there's some merit to that for sure. I think especially when you look at just yesterday playing multiple spots in one game, I don't think that's easy on anybody, especially a guy that's still a relatively young player. So that's something that we've got to certainly look at.
When everyone's trying to take away Josh, how do you get the run game going? It's such a big basis of everything offensively.
Yeah. If they're going to load the box on you, you got to be able to throw the football to try to loosen them up.
So obviously you tried that yesterday. So what's obviously the protection gets nice. So now that you've had some time to sleep on it, what's the alternative?
Yeah, you got to try different things. I mean, whether it's if you're having a hard time holding up in protection, you got to do things to move the pocket. You got to throw screens. You got to do whatever you got to do if you can't hold up. And typically like when you call a quick game or whatever, you're not anticipating getting hit or let alone give up a sack. And that happened, I think, twice yesterday. So we got to be better.
You guys talk about having a fast start in just about every game. Was it more you guys were on a slow start, or did Cleveland's defense slow you guys down more than the offense wasn't fast?
All right. Well, obviously, so there was basically 3 possessions in the first half. We went 3 and out on our first possession, and I thought we had an opportunity there on the third down to potentially get a first down. The second drive, we drove down. We had a 3rd and 4. We had a false start penalty. So we ended up settling for 3. And then the third drive, we got to the 38-yard line, and then we got bludgeoned by, I think there was 3 penalties. I think there was a sack in that. And so you're not giving yourself an opportunity. I would say from my perspective, at halftime, I think, especially after going and looking at the tape, I thought it felt a lot worse than what it was, but certainly wasn't clean enough. We can't, when you put yourself in a scoring position, you can't take yourself out of it. And that's exactly what happened on the third possession. So, and it was a whole bunch of errors like that can be spread to everybody, myself included. So bottom line, we've got to be more consistent, and we got to take advantage of our opportunities when we do get in a scoring position. You got to make sure you're going forward, not backwards.
5 sacks yesterday is kind of one-off. Jordan just had 14 total all last year.
Yeah, there were a couple that, obviously going into the game, there was a huge emphasis on not allowing Myles Garrett to wreck the game in terms of just trying to chip him. And typically when we usually chip and then get out as a check down, where we were spending a lot of time on him, and it did not enable some of our check downs to get out. And I think that was a byproduct. I mean, those other guys feasted and they had a good day. It's a credit to them. I knew that D-line was pretty good. Probably underestimated them to some level. Like the other guys, obviously Myles, we all know, and he's well respected across the league. But all those other guys, those interior guys, were a problem running their games. They had just had a great jump off the ball, and so we've got to look at certain things that we're asking our guys to do. And if we're not having success, then you got to find another avenue as a coach. That's my job, is to put our guys in the best position possible to go out there and compete and have success. And I obviously did not do that.
Something to losing a game like this earlier in the season that's like a lesson learned for you guys, and what do you take away, and how do you take that with you throughout the rest of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you that if you don't play your best, you're susceptible to getting beat. And I do think I knew it was going to be a tougher game probably than the outside world perceived, just by judging how good I thought their defense was. I mean, I watched them versus Cincinnati and Baltimore, two of, I would say, are pretty well-respected offenses in this league, and they did a pretty damn good job against them. I know the Baltimore game kind of got out of hand late, but I thought it was a stout defense. Jim Schwartz been doing it for a long time at a really high level. I've got a ton of respect for him. And those guys competed. They challenged us. And he did a good job of keeping us off balance. Never really obviously didn't get our run game going at all. And then we were having issues in the pass game as well. And so, I mean, that's a recipe for not very successful offensive football.
Going back to the sacks, what happened at the end of the third quarter?
Yeah, that 100%'s on me. We should not even have snapped the ball in that situation. We should have taken the quarter, gotten our best short yardage play. We got on the ball and basically gave Jordan an option, and he saw man coverage and got to a man beater. I should not have even put him in that situation. And then the second part of that is like when we do get out of the pocket there, because they got some pretty quick penetration right there. We just got to dirt the ball, throw it away, play field position. Our defense was doing such an outstanding job in that game. You just don't want to give them anything in terms of whether it's field position. And certainly we did not accomplish that offensively in the game in regards to, that was a sack. It wasn't the end of the world, but then we had a interception return to whatever the 5-yard line, whatever it was. And just gave them an opportunity.
So speaking of the interception, two things. One, given how well your defense was playing, was it a tough decision for you to call the pass versus running it?
It's 2020. Right. We're trying to be aggressive and try to thought that was our best opportunity. Obviously, didn't work out that way. Something that you can't take back. All you can do is try to learn from it and try not to make the same mistake again.
I understand that you always take the blame for stuff. So once you've decided to make that call, whether you shouldn't have made it or not, you can beat yourself up about it. But what can Jordan do better so it doesn't end catastrophically the way it does?
Well, I always think that what they always tell our quarterbacks is if we have a bad play, don't make a bad play worse. And I will say in his defense, the guy did a nice job. Delpit did a nice job. You can see he's in man coverage, and he fell off the route. So he did something that we did not anticipate him doing. So he made a good play.
Is that a byproduct of the rush maybe getting to him? Because it seemed like he got rid of it almost automatically really quick. When you might not have a lot of time, does that speed you? Do you feel like he got sped up?
Not necessarily. You could. I think there were situations certainly, but that was a quick game concept. So it was one of those bang bang plays. I think it looked like just by his body language when he was throwing the ball, it looked like he was trying to pull it down, but it was already committed.
As far as the decision to throw, don't you have to kind of put the ball in the air there and be aggressive? You're a first down from
not necessarily. Not the way our defense was playing. So I definitely don't think you have to do anything. They had one more timeout. If you ran the ball, they're probably going to burn their last timeout. Maybe it's a different story.
You're an aggressive guy. I remember the Rams game last year. You tried to end it with a deep shot on the third down. So throwing on the third down, not that surprising. But what are the mechanics like before the communications cut off? Do you give him just a call, or you just throw it away if it's not 100%? What's that look like?
Well, there was a timeout, so we talked about the play. So, the play was the play.
The broadcast said that you had a play sheet that had 4 Myles Garrett or without Myles Garrett on the field. Is that a typical thing you should do against top guys, or is that a really rare instance because he's such a good player?
They're sharing our secrets from those production meetings there, Wallers. I think anytime you have a premier player like that, it's not like a separate play sheet, but you might have a column on your call sheet with 4 or 5 calls where you're trying to push the ball down the field a little bit more, anticipating maybe you'll get a little bit more time. And we got to a couple of those throughout the course of the game. The problem is one of the times they did a good job and they brought pressure, which I kind of anticipated that, you take a great rusher off the field. They're going to try other avenues to potentially generate pressure. So they had a good call. They didn't get a sack or anything like that. We actually got a 3-yard completion to Tucker, but I would say it was less than a premier look for the play.
Now, I understand, it sucks that the game went the way it did yesterday for you, but it's not like you still don't have a really good football team. So I'm just curious, what good does come from this? How do you take this and use it in a way that it actually has value instead of just being pissed that you didn't play well?
Well, I just think this league is such a week-to-week league, and you can never lose sight of that. And you can't take any moment, any game for granted. And the goal, and I've said it a million times to you guys, I don't think I've obviously said it enough to our team. The goal is to go 1-0 every week. And it pisses me off when we start talking about things outside of the next game. things that are way down the road. Like focus on, keep the focus on the present, on the now, and worry about getting better each and every day.
Speaking
More,
of,
please, 2 more.
speaking of Tucker, what does it say about him to still go out in the game and play just the way he did, and how is he feeling coming off of the game?
Yeah, I think it says a lot about him just in terms of the competitor that he is. So yeah, I think he's feeling good.
What do you attribute the false starts to? I mean, it hasn't been a big problem at all for you over the years, and you had to get 5 yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, it's been happening more than we'd like. You see it in practice. It's hard not to expect it in a game. So we have got to dial in better. We have to have better focus and concentration. And some of those are brutal. We had 2 on third down. One was on that 3rd and 4. We had one on the short yardage situation when we try to bring Tuck in there and run the quarterback sneak. I mean, 3rd and 1, you can't have that. The other one was a 3rd and 10 late in the game, right? When we're trying to set up for a field goal, that pushed us back 5 yards. Yeah, you can't have them. Those are killer penalties. Another one was on a 2nd and 1, now 2nd and 1, 2nd and 6. I'm trying to think of the last one, but anyways, yeah, you can't have them because they are killer. And and then conversely, on the defensive side, we had a bunch of penalties on 3rd down that extended drives. Some of those were in one. I remember one specifically, 3rd and 9, had another 3rd and goal. They didn't kill us in those situations. We ended up overcoming them and moving them back, and they ended up settling for a field goal. But we have got to be better just with our details, our fundamentals, and then utilizing the techniques that we practice on a daily basis.
As someone, I'm sure there's a bet or something on that. As someone who can start talking and then keep talking, as you've experienced from listening to these questions, I don't think Sheed was planning on making a proclamation that you guys would go undefeated. I think he kind of got riffing a little bit.
No, I know, but I think it's always a good reminder, like, hey guys, like pump the brakes on everything. We're just trying to win one game at a time. And like, if you're thinking or have your sights set on anything outside of that, I think you're focused on the wrong things. Like we got to be focused on trying to get better. Obviously today, the focus is on, first of all, being honest about the tape and what the tape says. And then, learning from that, and then it's moving on.
So that's a teachable moment for, he's probably not going to talk to us the rest of the year, but is that a teachable moment for all your guys that you're using specifically?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of teachable moments when you win, and obviously you better learn from when you have some failure. Otherwise, you'll never get better.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Interesting stuff there from Packers coach Matt LaFleur, meeting the media at the podium. We will discuss as we move forward the Rasheed Walker proclamation that they could go perhaps unbeaten was addressed. That made Hunter laugh.
Well, that's what I first thought of when LaFleur said he was mad about, guys looking at things past this week and things that are way down the road. And then what do you think? What do you know? A couple questions
Rasheed
later.
Walker? Yes. We will get your reaction to that. It is Game Balls and Kicks to the Balls Monday on the Drew and KB program. Submit them as you may at 877-794-1973. NicoletLaw.com talk and text line never closes. It's Drew and KB statewide on the game.
Just a simple touch and it can set you free.
The Packers get their first setback of the season with a shocking loss in Cleveland.
And it is good.
And the Cleveland Browns have won. It's Reaction Monday.
Well, that was extremely disappointing.
On the game.
Mark your calendar because every night out could win you a run across the Hone Bridge. Join Michelob Ultra September 24th at 3rd Street Market Hall from 7 to 9 p.m. for your chance at a race entry to cross the iconic Hone Bridge. At each stop, you can win an entry into the Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon 5K Run Walk the Hone on October 4th. Enjoy Michelob Ultra and Ultra Zero specials all night long. This summer, enjoy Michelob Ultra at St. Paul Fish Company, 90s 2K Cafe, and Who's on 3rd. Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer and the proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon.
Hey, it's Shanna, and whether you have something big to celebrate or maybe you just want to hang out and watch your favorite Milwaukee sports team, Potawatomi Casino Hotel is a must. They have great bars like Bar 360 and 1100 Bar and Lounge. They have great restaurants like Rock and Brews Restaurant, and you can satisfy your sweet tooth at Minnie and Wow. Plus, if you haven't checked out Potawatomi Sportsbook, they've got a top-notch bar, awesome food, a giant video wall, and more. Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. Your win is waiting.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the #1 sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
Broadcasting worldwide from the Iron Jock Studios. Iron Jock is the official advanced performance gear and apparel worn by the guys on the game. Iron Jock with the most permanent odor protection ever, with fast drying and wicking, anti-static 4-way stretch, cooling, water repellency, and stain blocking. It's performance gear at its best. Learn more at ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com. Iron Jock. It's what's inside.
Hey, Drew, you know what I love? Good guarantee.
Who doesn't? That's why we love Iron Jock.
Iron Jock is advanced performance gear and apparel backed by state-of-the-art science.
And it all starts and ends with Iron Jock's exclusive nano silver technology built into all of Iron Jock gear.
When you sweat, the nano silver and the super fabric reacts, releasing silver ions that instantly eliminate 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria.
For the life of the gear, it's guaranteed.
Just go to ironjock.com to buy and learn more. That's ironjoc.com.
Iron Jock, it's what's inside. Hey, it's Drew Olson, and I have to tell you, I could not be happier with our new 97.3 The Game broadcast studio built by Reamer Remodel. It has been a game changer. And thanks to the Reamer Remodel team, RIEMER remodel.com.
Step into American Place Casino, where the excitement never ends. Located in Waukegan, Illinois, just a short drive from Milwaukee. Over 900 slot machines, your favorite table games, 4 restaurants, live entertainment, and now our brand new poker room. Plus, we're proud to be the friendliest casino around with service that sets us apart. Whether you're here to hit the jackpot, catch a game, or just have an unforgettable night out, American Place Casino has it all. American Place Casino. Closer than you think. Friendlier than you expect. Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling, and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537.
Exclusive coverage of your favorite teams. Exclusive videos from your favorite game personalities.
I am a follower.
Content you can't get anywhere else. 97.3 The Game on Instagram.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in, and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Presenting Again Fling's love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit, because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 or in Mississippi.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call,
that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Flacco lofts it deep down the left side. Jerry Jeudy
Intercepted.
there, and it is intercepted. McKinney, and he's down by contact at the 9-yard line at Green Bay.
I still think we got a great team. I think we're going to do some special things this year. But I also think it's good that we learned this lesson early. I'd rather learn it early than late. So, I think that's really the biggest lesson that we learn right now.
Doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Well done, Hunter. Drew and KB with you from the Iron Jock Studio, built by Reamer Remodel, and Xavier McKinney bringing us back with this interception and a conversation at his locker today. Our conversation's wide-ranging. We're talking Brewers, we're talking Packers, we're talking Badgers, and anything else. Game balls and kicks to the balls open, 877-794-1973 to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. And a couple of things coming up on our radar. KB, I don't know if you were at the meeting or not.
Probably not.
But our football feast this week is going to take us to Pewaukee. Love to see some smart, good-looking listeners out getting live on Capitol Drive in Pewaukee Thursday for the football feast. Buffalo Wild Wings, beer, and your chance to win Packers tickets, which will be excellent. And then, looking further ahead, we have a gig on Sunday coming up, a special green and gold pregame show that we're going to be presiding over at the Metro Market in Shorewood on Oakland Avenue. That's 4075 North Oakland. You know, it's a good store there. We're going to be there from noon to 3. They're celebrating the grand opening of the Greeby's Bakery on site there. And we will be joined by none other than Hall of Famer Leroy Butler, friend of the program, going to be there. You can win tickets to a Packers game there as well. And if you're one of the first 100 guests, you get a free crawler. Hey, come on now.
Yeah, no doubt.
Donuts and the Sunday tradition
alone.
of hot ham and rolls.
Come on, man.
Up. Yes. So it's the pregame show. We'll be live from noon to 3, celebrating that grand opening of the Greeby's Bakery right there. So I hope to see some smart, good-looking listeners there. Want to see you on the talk and text line as well. Game balls and kicks to the balls. KB, you got any holstered up?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact.
Let's get to it.
I'm going to give a game ball to the Cincinnati Reds for vanquishing the Cubs. That was beautiful to watch them fall all weekend long.
Celebrate what you've done.
Celebrate what you've done. That was pretty good. Yeah.
That was really good, especially yesterday with the 1-0 win, too, because even though the Brewers lost and I flipped over to watch the end of the Cubs game, but with MLB TV, I was able to do it by watching the Cincinnati broadcast, which was, when Cincinnati's fighting for their life.
They just put themselves in playoff spot yesterday.
They did. They're tied for the third wild card. So anything could happen there. So do want to give a game ball to the Reds. I'm going to give a kick to the balls right now. To the North Carolina Athletic Department for hiring Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson. My God, is that a train wreck down there?
Oh, they got smoked.
I mean, they're like making out on the sideline, for God's sake.
Oh, that was AI. They did talk.
No, I know it.
But
I know, but
come on.
But
still,
I mean, why is she on the sideline?
I don't ever remember seeing a coach's wife on the sideline, like not like between the 40s, like not in the middle of the field.
Like walking
and
around
during like warm-ups and stuff. Yeah,
No.
I've never seen any
no.
coach's wife at any level of anything like that close to the action and that close to it. So
now, don't get me wrong, I get it.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like, why not? He's Bill Belichick, for God's sake. He's 73. He's got a 24-year-old girlfriend. His hot as all get out. It'd be like, okay.
Yeah, we lost a football game.
Yeah, what are you going to do to me?
Look what I'm going on.
Exactly. What are you going to do to me? Fire me.
Yeah, they signed up.
You can't expect.
They signed up for this circus.
Yeah, that's why I'm not necessarily kicking Belichick, although it certainly is against, certainly doesn't fit his off-brand on him, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Serious.
True.
So that would be a kick to the balls. I'm going to give and Hunter, I don't know if you saw this, probably not. You were probably preoccupied. But I'm going to give a big game ball to the MLB network.
Celebrate what you've done.
Oh.
Because the Bob Costas interview, the 1-hour show with Murph, was incredible.
I got to see that.
Yeah,
I
haven't
watched
seen
it.
yet either. Yeah.
I watched it, and I want to invite Murph over for Christmas.
All right. That's.
I mean, it was like,
well,
if you did not love him before, you will love him now. You know what? He is he is the perfect combination of, I guess you could say, compassion and good parenting. You know, he's not a gentle parent. You know, yeah, he worries about how the guys feel, but when they do something wrong, they're going to do something wrong, and they're going to be reprimanded for it. And told a story about Frelick, who got thrown out, and Steve, he might have been missing the cutoff man, missing a cutoff man.
In St.
Walked
Louis
in
April, I think.
Yep.
Walked in. Murph just looked at him and looked at the bench, and Frelick went and sat down on the bench. He knew he was out of the game. And that screams old Bo Ryan. Yeah. Remember when Bo would do that? Bo would be, and Butchie would be a good one to talk to about this. Bo, my wife used to love it. Bo had a look. Didn't matter what you did on the floor. You could be the best player in America, and you made one mistake. He would just look at you, wouldn't talk to you, and you went right to the bench because you knew that.
You knew.
And it was like, that's what makes him so great as a manager. But it also got into talking about his relationship with Craig Counsell. And Counts coming up at Notre Dame and him having to bring Counsell out of his shell at Notre Dame because he didn't talk. He was, really kind of timid on things. And then when he in turn, came back and Counsell brought Murph back, he was very gracious in the way that he talked about, because I think Costas says, so what's it like, the mentor working for the mentee or something like that. And he goes, I came back and Craig taught me an awful lot about this game too, which is such a refreshing perspective. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, after watching this, it's like, I do. I want him to come over for Christmas. I think I'd like him.
Find it on the web and watch it. Hunter and I will catch up.
It's fantastic. Absolutely.
877-794-1973. Game balls and kicks of the balls continue. Let's go to Dan in Hartford. Dan, welcome to Drew and KB.
Hey guys, what's up? Hey, so real quick, game ball, I'm going to say to you and KB, and I'll tell you why. My job always starts at 4:00 Tuesday through Friday. And so I get to the first commercial break and I got to go in and get into character. So now I get beers on the table. Well, not literally because I'm on my way to work, but I get that extra hour. And I love your optimism, which goes into my next thing is kick to the balls to glass half empty people just in general, because I'm at the store today, grocery shopping. There's an older man wearing a Brewers shirt. I said, hey, go Brewers. He goes, yeah, we'll see what happens in October. Too bad we didn't beat the Cardinals. I'm like, really, dude? Really, really, really?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, really? We punched the division again, and you're going to kind of slouch around about it and worry about what hasn't even happened yet? I am such an optimistic guy. No graphic detail. I've been through a lot of things, as many of us have been. But man, you got to keep that glass half full. You're nuts if you don't. I mean, how do you get through life like that? It's nuts.
We ask ourselves that a lot, Dan. Thank you for the call.
I mean, we're not, cockeyed optimists. We're not just sitting here blindly, following the team saying they're the greatest ever. I mean, we criticize them, but you're missing something. Man, you are missing an awful lot with this team. You're missing an awful lot of excitement. You are wasting a lot of positive energy by sitting back and going, yeah, wait till it happens in October. You know what? Then take the frickin' shirt off. Take the shirt off, take it down to Goodwill and sell it. Or give it away. Give it to someone who would like it. Yeah. I mean, I'm dead serious. If you're going to be, I have firmly made up my mind that, I am going to simply turn my back on anyone who does that and says that. Well, what happens in October? This discussion is over. I'll wait till October to see what happens.
And we'll find out. Yeah.
Then I'll cry. If they disappoint me, I'll cry. But who's to say that this isn't the team that changes it all?
Well, now tonight's going to be an interesting game because the Brewers are playing a hangover special, and the Padres can wrap up a postseason berth if they win tonight.
Oh,
so there may be champagne again on the other side if the Brewers don't prevail. But that's one of those where, okay, the Brewers are traveling. There might be a little bit. And sometimes in those circumstances, you just you just show up and it's on autopilot and you win. Like you just, like you don't not thinking too much. Like this would be a natural game for the Brewers to let down. right? But
Sure.
maybe they won't because that's hashtag baseball, right?
But if you listen to,
and the Padres could be squeezing the handles because they are thinking, oh, we have to win to get in, you know.
But if you had you watched that interview with Murph is not the kind of guy that's going to let this team back down.
Right.
He's not. I mean, they may lose. They may not finish where we would hope they would, but it will not be because they took any time off.
That's true. Tom is calling us. He's calling us from Egypt. We are truly worldwide.
Oh,
thanks
I
to
love
VPNs.
this.
Tom, welcome to Drew and KB.
Hey guys, I usually call for Tim's wrap-ups, and with time change, that's often like I think I'm 8 hours ahead of you guys. So
Yeah.
that's
What's the
usually
weather like there today?
like middle of the morning. Well, you know, it's cooling off. It's only about 85 degrees. It's fall here. You know.
Okay.
So, yeah. But you know that's cool here.
That's cool. Yeah, that's
A
cool.
month ago it was like over 100 degrees. So
Get a
it's,
sweater. Oh, it's 75 in the good land today. Tom, what you got for us, man?
Well, you know, I've been here a year. I used to call in from New York before I moved here, and I'm both a Packer fan and a Brewers fan. And my kids, who actually grew up in New York, they root for my teams. But I'm also 65 years old, so I remember 1982. You know, and for me, it's like the whole playoff system was different then. You know, so for me, it's like I don't freak out about like not winning the whole thing. I want to win the whole thing, but it's just the way to the playoffs is so different now. So I'm trying to do this whole year just about just like enjoying it as it happens. You know, the wins, the winning, the streak. You know, and yeah, last night was really depressing because not depressing. We won. I wish we had really, you know, won on the field. And I would now like to get the home field advantage through the thing.
Okay, the magic number for that is 1 to
games.
eliminate Toronto for in case they were to face them in the World Series, and 3.
Oh wow, I wasn't updated
Phillies.
on that. I thought it was like 4. So that's
No,
great.
it's like 3 for the Phillies. In fact, the Brewers could clinch tomorrow. If the Phillies lose
That's amazing.
to the Marlins and the Brewers win tonight and tomorrow, it's wrapped. So the magic number for the overall best record is 3. Any combination of wins by the Brewers and or losses by the Phillies equaling 3 gives the Brewers number 1 seed.
I watched tonight's game. Yeah, I watched tonight's game because it was on earlier in my time, so I was able to do that. You know, but anyways, I'm a lifelong Brewers fan. You know, and I'm a lifelong Packers fan wherever I live, and I raised a couple of kids who are now in their 30s in New York City to be fans, and I live here now in Egypt, this job I took, and we're all talking back and forth. They were all annoyed about the loss the Packers had yesterday, but they're really excited about the Brewers. And
that sounds about right for everybody here. Tom, thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it. All the way from Cairo, sounding crystal clear. We just got to take a break. We apprate Tom listening to us in Cairo.
We're huge.
I thought it was huge that we had in
the Middle East,
a P1 in Boston, but now I haven't one in Cairo.
We've got 2.
Pretty big. That's
P1s in Boston. 3 now.
Yeah.
With our little sister,
the
Boston Barrister, and now my son's out there.
There you go. Fantastic. All right, it's Game Balls and Kicks to the Balls Monday on the Drew and KB program. Don't you go anywhere. We are broadcasting our unique blend of sports and stuff statewide on the Game.
Sunday night, October 26th, the legend and his backup meet for the first time. And Zabe, Butch, and the Russ Darrow Automotive Group want you to watch the game with them in the Steel City. With thousands of vehicles available, now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up, and drive home in the car, truck, van, or SUV you've been dreaming about. Shop the entire inventory and lock in savings today at russdarrow.com. Get to thegameandstuff.com contests and sign up to win this epic road trip with the fellas.
Let's go.
Thegameandstuff.com/contests.
You're not just tired, you're drained. Dragging yourself out of bed, powering through work with caffeine, skipping workouts, zoning out at home. That 6 to 10 o'clock evening window, it used to be your time. Now you're barely holding on. Lower energy, poor sleep, no drive. If that sounds like you, it might be low testosterone, and you're not alone. It's Drew Olson from 97 Through the Game, and I was in that exact spot with less gas in the tank. I got tested at Game Day Men's Health, and it changed everything. I've been amazed the level of service I've received at Game Day and how quick the treatments are. It's part of my routine now. You can make it part of yours. They are looking to help you at Game Day Men's Health. It's fast, it's simple, and it's built for guys on the go. Like no waiting rooms, no awkward questions, just a free T-level test and real solutions that work. You've got a life to live. Don't waste it on the couch. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com and book your free testosterone test today. Game Day Men's Health. Get into one of the 5 area locations, get results, and get back in the game.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Education doesn't just take place in the classroom. There are many ways children of all ages can learn about sustainability and the environment at home. Visit iHeartRadio.com/Earth for a list of resources, activity guides, and toolkits that are educational and fun for the whole family. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Brother man, you ever get the Sunday scaries?
Sunday scaries?
Yeah, you stay up half the night on Sunday because you're worried about the upcoming week.
I used to, but not anymore. Not now that I found Happy Place Hemp Delta 8 gummies. I take one about an hour before bedtime and I sleep like a baby. But I'm not the only one. One smart, good-looking listener texted us and said they started taking the gummies for their anxiety. Now they're more relaxed. They get a good night's sleep. No more tossing and turning.
And now listeners can go to happyplacehemp.com, use the promo code DrewKB, and get 25% off their order. Can't beat that with a stick.
Happyplacehemp.com, promo code DrewKB.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Dude, did you order the new iPhone 17 Pro? Got it from Verizon, the best 5G network in America. I never looked so good.
You look the same.
But with this camera, everything looks better, especially me.
You haven't changed your hair in 15 years. Selfies? Check, please.
New and existing customers can get the new iPhone 17 Pro, designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever. With eligible phone trade-in and unlimited ultimate, any condition guaranteed. Best 5G swears root metrics data, United States, 1H 2025. All rights reserved. Trade-in and additional terms apply for all offers. See Verizon.com for details.
Looking for something new? Try fencing, the Olympic and Paralympic sport that mixes speed, strategy, and fun. It's like chess meets cardio. Quick feet, quick decisions, and a satisfying beat when you score a point. Kids, teens, and adults can start anytime. No experience needed, and many clubs have loaner gear. Coaches teach fundamentals and safety from day one. Find a beginner class near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing. That's usafencing.org/tryfencing.
The Fox 6 weather experts are presented by AdventKnows.com.
Scattered showers and storms are possible today with temperatures in the 70s and humid. Showers may linger tonight in spots and staying mild in the 60s. Another chance for rain on Tuesday, but cooler with highs in the 60s and 70s. I'm Fox 6 meteorologist Stephanie Barrichello.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $125 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 11/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Packers football and Miller Lite. Tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly.
This is why everything's harped on throughout the year. That's why we pay attention to detail. Why there's tough love throughout the season. Why you keep grinding. Why you keep trying to get better. Is for these moments, and the fact that you can celebrate with your teammates and show them like, hey, this is why we do all that work, and hopefully this is the first step for many more. And these are always celebrations and teams that you'll remember for the rest of your life.
Christian Yelich bringing us back from the Central Division champion Milwaukee Brewers. Hunter was on the scene yesterday in St. Louis. We'll talk more about the Brewers as we move forward on our program today. Continuing Game Balls and Kicks to the Balls Monday. Hit us up 877-794-1973 to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. Paul Hansen is the man to talk to, our buddy from Iron Jock. If you are a high school athletic director or a business owner, if you're a coach, if you're a administrator of your youth soccer league, travel ball teams. Iron Jock has a spirit gear program. They will heat seal your logo on their high-end apparel, and they won't charge you an arm and a leg. They will give you a wholesale price. No middleman marking it up. The more you buy, the better deal Paulie's going to give you. It's a fantastic, fantastic proposition. Great for business gear, for athletic teams. You know the drill. Contact Paul Hansen. Reach out at ironjoc.com. Freddie Peralta pitching for the Brewers tonight. Again, the Padres on the verge of a clinch, and it is an 8:40 start for us here locally in the good land. As the Brewers, again, we mentioned, they still have something to play for. The magic number for the number one overall seed, best record in ball, home field advantage throughout the playoffs is 3 with 6 to play. So if the Brewers go 3-3, great. If they go 0-6 and the Phillies go 3-3, great too. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you get there, it's all good.
Yes,
right?
just get there.
It's looking pretty good for that. And if the worst thing they can finish is it's the number 2 seed, which is home field against everybody except Philadelphia. So boom.
There's only one thing that could be a disappointment for this season, and that is Murph doesn't get manager of the year. How you don't give him manager of the year is beside me.
I think getting swept in your first divisional series would be a disappointment. That would kind of ruin things.
No, but but that's after the season.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in the season. If he doesn't get
manager of the year is not announced till a month.
I know
after
it's
the
not
World
announced,
Series.
but it's voted on. It's only based on what they do during the season.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't get
ballots the ballots will be locked before the first postseason pitch is thrown. The ballots are in for regular season awards.
And if he doesn't win, then I will have literally, no faith in anyone who didn't vote for him. I believe it would totally undermine their credibility as a scribe.
Yeah, I don't see how he's
blow out.
I mean, it should be damn near be unanimous.
Yeah, I think it was. What was it last year? It was close to unanimous last year, wasn't it? Relatively,
it was hefty. Yeah,
it was hefty. He won comfortably last year.
It should be a unanimous, except for like the nozzle who probably writes for Toronto, or somebody like that. That'll vote for the home team.
Only the voting's only for in this league though. I think, right? So it's like manager of the year national
for a national league, but it'll be like one guy that'll vote for his own man. Dave Roberts will get a vote or something like that.
Yeah, I mean,
which is like ridiculous.
Say that. Let's take a look. Last year, Murph got 144 points, and it's weighted. He was named on 27 of the 30 ballots. 27 out of 30 first place votes. And then he got 3 second place votes. So not unanimous, but close. And then
how can you not though this year?
I would think this year he'd be.
How can you not?
Yeah, I would think that this year he would be even better and closer to unanimous. It's been won back to back. People ask me, has anybody ever won it back to back? Yes, in fact, Bobby Cox did it in Atlanta, and Kevin Cash did it in Tampa. So it has been done in each league. But hey, it'd be notable if Murph wins it again. That'd be sweet. So, 30 ballots submitted by 2 writers representing each city in the National League. So, there you have it. All right, keep them coming. 877-794-1973. We got this little appointment that we do daily between 4:19 and 4:21 that you always want to stick around for. But when we come back, yes, we're going to pick through the carcass of the Packers loss, which I'm still trying to understand. I have to rewatch the game to find out how it exactly happened. But we'll get more from the Brewers and Hunter's tales from the front lines of the champagne celebration after the Brewers lost 2 out of 3 to St. Louis, but still sprayed champagne all over that clubhouse. How sweet it is. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
This sports update is brought to you by American Place Casino. Nonstop excitement just over the Wisconsin border in Lake County, Illinois. I'm Dave Gasper. The Milwaukee Brewers are NL Central champions once again after clinching the division for the 3rd straight year over the weekend. With 6 games left to play in the regular season, the Brewers begin their final road series against the Padres. Freddie Peralta is on the bump tonight for the Crew. Nick Pivetta is the starter for San Diego. First pitch is at 8:40 p.m. Coming off a disappointing loss to the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, the Green Bay Packers are now looking ahead to their Week 4 matchup on Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys got some bad injury news today as wide receiver CeeDee Lamb has a high ankle sprain and will be out for this weekend's matchup with the Packers. I'm Dave Gasper on Milwaukee's most listened to sports station, 97.3 The Game.
Guys, what's going on? Tim Allen joined Pipe Bomb and me tonight as we talk about the division champ Milwaukee Brewers. It's a 3-game set against the Padres. Post-game show with Potawatomi Sportsbook here on The Game.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Heavy west 94 from 16th to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side so far is in decent shape. 43 heavy southbound from Center through the Marquette. The bypass backed up West Forest home to the Hale. I'm Mike Priest, and that's your latest Total Traffic.
This report is sponsored by First Choice Heating and Cooling. Don't be that family with no heat Christmas morning. First Choice preseason tune-up includes full safety check and combustion analysis. $89 off in September. Call First Choice Heating and Cooling today.
Drew Wilson here from 97.3 The Game, and I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching the big game. And now Daisy's come out with delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and a Daisy Ranch Dip, and these are a game changer. These are as delicious as homemade dips, and they are made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. I invite you to visit your local grocer and check out Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. They are truly a game changer. Look for them at a grocery store near you.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the #1 sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
You took the elevator to the 48th floor and handed him the briefing. Your fingertips touched, sending a shockwave of desire through the air. The room pulsed with a silent craving as he drew you in with his smoldering gaze before uttering the words your body ached to hear.
The next train on track 2 is delayed.
And all the while, you were on your commute home. There's more to imagine when you listen. Discover romance titles on Audible.
Broadcasting from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Reamer Remodel.
Let's get this going right now.
This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game.
Presenting a Gain Flings love story. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus this morning when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. Alas, I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Try Gain Flings with OxyBoost and Febreze.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch, because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 or in Mississippi.
Think about it. You take thousands of steps every day. Shouldn't every single one of them feel amazing? Well, with Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins, they can. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists to design a shoe that provides amazing arch support for all-day comfort. And best of all, you get all this comfort, stability, and support with the ease of Skechers slip-ins technology. Just slip them on. There's no bending down and no struggling to tie your shoes. Just step in and go. Try Arch Fit hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever comfortable footwear is sold.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Make 97.3 The Game your #1 preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are number one. We just grabbed every key demographic. Yeah!
Live from the Iron Jock Studios and brought to you by Bryant and Stratton College Athletics, it's time to rock the rivers and shake the lakes with two guys fueled only by cheeseburgers, bourbon, and ice-cold beer at a reasonable price, of course. It's Drew and KB.
We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes.
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
The reality is that anybody that knows Drew knows that he's been class personified. I be trying my hardest to like people, and then they start to like breathe and talk and stuff.
KB brings just great instincts. That's what you love about him.
I'm mad. I have to go to work. I have to earn a living. I'd rather have a private income and get laid.
Do not end up in a hospital, newspaper, or jail. If you do end up in jail, establish permanent quickly.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Named something Abraham Lincoln probably used to ride on.
Miss Lincoln, like I'm on the bed bush.
Do you want to start drinking?
Yes.
I don't know what time it is, but I'm rolling deep.
How's the corn?
You know, I'm going to have to go for 420, Bob. Cheez-Its! Cheez-Its! Cheez-Its!
Light this candle.
He's right. Let's light this candle. Light the candle.
Rolling through a Monday in the Goodland. It's Drew and KB from the Iron Jock Studio, built by Reamer Remodel. Hanging out with you. My name is Drew. I am joined by KB.
What is going on, brother man?
Well, we're looking for more game balls and kicks to the huevos today. 877-794-1973 gets you in to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. If you missed it, where were you? We had an extended conversation in the 2 o'clock hour with our pal Jim Polzin from the State Journal, talking all things Packers and Badgers. You don't want to kick people when they're down, but the Badgers' performance against Maryland, again, can't use the phrase rock bottom because they got 8 games left that they could lose all of them.
My God.
Go 2-10.
It's not rock bottom, but you can see it from there.
They've lost 6 straight games in the Big Ten now, with an option to add several more.
My God.
It's pretty,
it's not good.
It's bleak right now.
It is not.
Yeah. Anger.
It's not good.
We're going from anger to apathy pretty quickly for a lot of people. And what's your motivation to go to a cold weather game at Camp Randall?
I didn't have them when they were good.
That's true. We're soft.
We are that way. I'm not gonna lie. But it's man, there's a whole lot of ugly there.
We had a submission earlier from the Hammer, Mike the Hammer, who said that he has season tickets and he's never had a tougher time. He said you can't give them away, and he said it's never been like this in his years as a season ticket holder.
Yeah, it's been a while. It has been a while that it's been like this. There were off years that would be sprinkled in here and there, but it would take a couple of years for the young guys coming in and getting up to speed, and then they would be back on the top of the Big Ten. I think he brought up, and you'll be able to go to our podcast page and listen to the interview with Jim Polzin. But I thought
we may revisit it later on. In fact,
I think
I'd have to.
But I think what the point that you brought up regarding the Badgers and looking at how they move forward and how things have changed, it's that it's not the same with the transfer portal. It's not the same, with coaches coming and going. There's no consistency. The teams that started with and got into the transfer portal quickly are the ones that are doing well. Now, to that end, I thought of a way that maybe you could get some more equity between teams or make it more equitable with the transfer portal. Let me bounce this one off of the smart and good-looking listeners and see what they say. I looked at the Badgers, how the team is comprised, and how many are, I guess you could say, recruited from freshmen on the team. and versus, how many are transfer portal guys. And from what I could glean using sources on the internet, the World Wide Web, if you will, they have anywhere from 25 to 27 players that are transfer portal guys. Then I went and looked at a couple other teams, right? Some of them are a little bit higher. But as I started, the Badgers also lost 19 this year. So as I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, how can you can't just, you've got to be able to control that some way, right? So I propose that at any given year, there is a cap on the number of transfer portal athletes you can accept. So for football, let's say on any given year, you can only accept 6 transfer portal kids or 8 or whatever the number is. Basketball, 2 or whatever. And you would have, based on the number of players on the team. So now it's just not open season. So now if you're the kid who's going to transfer out, you better, you pretty well better make damn sure that they're taking you. And then by the same token, some of the bigger teams, it's like you just can't open your arms wide because you got a lot of money and scoop everybody in. This is it. You get 8.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I think that might work. What say you, smart and good-looking listeners?
Yeah, hit us up. Game Balls and Kicks continues, and we'll take your thoughts. 877-794-1973. A game ball, and this one is painful because it ended up costing the Packers. But Browns defensive tackle Shelby Harris gets a game ball.
Celebrate what you've done.
He's the guy that blocked the kick by Brandon McManus. He's a Homestead High School product. Went to Wisconsin in 2009, redshirt, and then transferred to, I think it was Western Illinois. And he's playing in his 12th year in the NFL and has blocked 6 kicks in his career. He's got a bit of a knack for it. He said, asked about this, he said, well, I'm in year 12. It helps, especially with the new era of inside guys rushing to get 10 sacks and doing all that. You have to find ways that set you apart from the rest of the group because they could find someone in year 3 to be a run stopper. You have to bring something to the group that they can't get anywhere else. That's what I feel my skill set brings. He's 300 pounds. He's got a 6'10 and a half wingspan. So he is, that's pretty good to play that long. And, Homestead High School guy got the kick to block the kick that helped beat the Packers. He said, that's quite the career.
Certainly is.
Yeah. So he gets one. And I'm also going to give one to Joe Flacco, believe it or not, who didn't play that great and probably won't be starting for very long for Cleveland, but Joe Flacco and just the Browns, the operation. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but let's give a game ball to them, Hunter.
Celebrate what you've done.
Their operation to get that spike that led to their walk-off field goal and avoided overtime. Billy and I were sitting here watching it live and we're just like, why isn't anybody laying on the guy, trying to strip the ball, trying to pretend that there was a fumble just to delay? The Browns got that playoff and they were able to clock it in 12 seconds. And the industry standard, KB, for completing a pass and getting to the line and spiking the ball is 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And they shaved 3 seconds off of it and were able to do it in 12. And they practice it with the clock all the time. I think a lot of teams do. But everything had to go right. And there are people out there saying, hey, the official didn't touch the ball. Like the center for the Browns spotted it himself. And he even shorted it by like a yard so that the ref wouldn't say, hey, wait a minute. He wasn't trying to cheat. He made the kick longer than it probably should have been. And there was
thinking that the ref would go, well, it's not in the right spot, but it's farther back. I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah. And so I think the ref just tapped the ball. Usually you're supposed to give the ball to the referee, but they didn't do that. They just kind of put it down. And you watch that, the way they did it, this fire drill that they executed, it's pretty incredible. It's like it's one of the best plays you're going to see this year is that they were able to do that and get the kick. And then the kid made the kick, the guy who's maligned for missing kicks earlier.
And what will come of that? An apology from the NFL. You won't get the win back.
Spotted right.
It wasn't. Then you get that. Upon review, we had noticed that we
should have done a better job of laying on the guy. Like jump on it, put 4 guys on him, and just smother him until. And then the refs come, and then that would have been overtime. So it was not. It was great execution by the Browns, and not great awareness by the Packers in a key moment in a game. And when you're playing a rock fight game like that, a couple of plays either way turn the tide, and that's what happened with the Packers yesterday. When they went crazy imploded in the last 4 minutes. Steven Rhinelander is with us, listening to us on 101.3 The Game. Steve, welcome to Drew and KB.
Yeah, hey, thanks, you guys. I'm not venting this time. I'm just like agreeing with KB in a certain way because I get what he's getting at, but I would propose a dollar amount per college. You've got 10 million, 20 million, whatever dollar amount they put on it to make it an even playing field. Otherwise you're going to get right back to the
I think they've
NBA.
approved that of what can come directly from the university. They have put they got some limits coming. Yeah, they're putting limits in place there. Now they're still like good. NIL was supposed to be that you could go, sign a shoe deal or go sign autographs, sell autographs.
Kind of not working out that way, is it?
And all that stuff. No, it's become, the university shaking people down and giving people money. So yeah, that in theory, yes, Steve, that's kind of where they're headed.
Yes. Is it true that some kids making $14 million a year?
I think the kid from Michigan, the quarterback,
at some college,
like 10. I think I haven't heard anybody making.
That's just
14.
crazy.
10. I mean, that's still ridiculous.
$2.25 an hour in the dish room. I got.
I get it. Huh?
I got $2.25 an hour in the dish room. That was my NIL money when I went to college. 10 million.
Exactly. At the country kitchen, probably.
I said corrected. It was over 4 years. Bryce Underwood's deal, the NIL deal, was 4 years for 12.5. $3 million a year.
12.5.
Yeah, 12.5 total value, not a year. So
that's crazy because it just, obviously it's common sense in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Appreciate you. 877-794-1973.
The Tails, they did it. And yeah, student athletes, don't even call them that anymore because they're not. They should have been compensated. Yeah. The university is making a ton of money off of them, but man, they just went to the far opposite end of the spectrum and just opened it wide up. And it's easier. It's going to be hard to put the toothpaste back in that tube.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
As soon as you start doing it, someone's going to sue you. Why did they get it and we don't?
I have another Game Ball 2 award, and it goes to our own Hunter Baumgart.
Celebrate what you've done.
Me?
Yes. For you, basically taking it upon yourself to go to St. Louis to be there for the clinch, and you got rewarded by being there for the clinch. They didn't win the game. They had to wait, but you got to be there for the celebration. And I want more tea, Hunter. I want more from what you observed as you were walking around and watching the party. Who was really getting after it in the Brewers clubhouse? Who was the center of attention? There's always one guy with a lampshade on his head or, pouring drinks over himself. Who was the MVP of the celly?
Okay, if I were to name an MVP, boy, Sal Frelick is right up there. He was the middle of attention. Abner Uribe, I would say.
Uribe, the way he skips around on the mound and off the field, I mean, I'm not surprised.
He had the energy at the end. So there's kind of two parts to the celebration, right? There's the part where they spray champagne and it's going everywhere. And then about 10 minutes in, they take everybody out to the field and they do a picture. And so they do that. And then they came back and celebrated even more, turned the place into a slip and slide and the whole deal. And there was champagne everywhere.
Cue the memories from people who went to Marquette when the Avalanche was still open. The naked beer slide was graduation week of naked beer slides. That's kind of what, although they were clothed, right?
Yes, they were.
Okay.
But then they started bringing people in and just dumping full things of water, like full tubs of water on them from the huge vats of, they kept all the beers and champagne on ice. And so it was starting to melt, obviously. We're about a half hour, 45 minutes in, and they take a bunch of water and pour it. So they bring Pat Murphy to the middle and they pour water on him in the middle. So it was kind of that later. They did that to him, and Mike Vasallo, the PR guy, got a huge dumping of water on him. So yeah, it was that was kind of the second part of the celebration, if you will. I think the cool, or the kind of the funny part, and a classic Murph moment. So they're all getting ready to take the picture out on the field at Busch Stadium, and they all take the picture. because they all go out in the field and they want to have that picture, whatever. So they all take the picture. Then they're all starting to get up, and all of a sudden they realize that Pat Murphy was not in the picture. He starts strolling up the dugout steps because I don't know where he was, maybe talking to somebody in his
Getting
office,
some
whatever.
pancakes.
Exactly. So he walks up, and then he's walking towards all of his guys with a big smile on his face, and the guys start yelling his kind of Murphisms back to him, and then he's responding with what he says in a game. What was it? Gain ground or base hit ball 4, and they're just going back and forth between Murphy and the guys. They're just going back and forth as he's coming up to them, and then they take the picture with Pat Murphy as they should with their manager, and then all was well. But it was just a cool moment.
The fact that they're able to do that is an indicator that everyone on the team is bought into what he's selling. Mm-hmm. Right? Some players just don't. They just don't buy into it, and they're not going to. But it seems like everybody is on the same page. And if they're spitting Murphisms back at them,
right,
it means they all love them.
Yeah. Right.
That's true.
Totally.
Yeah.
Sal Frelick had one quote that I thought was interesting. He basically credited Pat Murphy with the turnaround of this team. When I asked him about what Pat Murphy brings to the culture in that clubhouse.
You talked a lot about the winning culture. When you talk about how much does Pat Murphy kind of cultivate?
Yeah, I mean, we got the right guy, and he's someone who just encapsulates that and reminds us every day when we're not doing the things we need to do, just to get us back on track. And without him, this whole entire year, I don't think it would have gotten back on track. So all the credit to him.
He doesn't think the year would have went back on track if it wasn't for Murphy.
You mean starting with the 0-4 start?
Well, right, but
going all back there. Or,
no,
because he meant that with positivity.
For the 25 and 28.
The comment that Murph had in that interview with Costas about Frelick, did you hear that? What he said?
No.
That Frelick,
I know he loves him.
He loves him, and he was kind of struggling, and he looked at him and he said, "Hey, you better get your grades up because you're going to have to go back because you keep playing like this. You're going to be back in grad school."
That's been a joke of his for like 3 years.
I know it. I love it. I just love it. He goes, "A guy your size?" And at which Costas says, "Well, you have more. You're the team with the most players under 5'10" in the league."
True.
Yeah,
it's true. Absolutely. From the talking text line, Brian in Oregon said, "Kick to the balls to internet trolls." Hey, I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Kick them. Oh, no. I feel like one of the few who doesn't think the Packers' loss was that bad. The Browns had the number one defense. They did what good defenses do. If not for a fluky block, we're talking 3-0. Yeah, I mean, the results are the results, but it was 4 bad minutes, 56 ugly minutes, and then 4 really bad minutes.
Right.
The Jordan Love pick was horrific. Yes, there's no excusing that, but Love didn't play that badly, considering he was under siege because the offensive line was kind of makeshift, and he was under pressure a lot. He took 5 sacks that were, some of them like hurt me just watching it on TV. Like rattle your fillings kind of sacks that he took. I'm sure Jordan Love is more sore after this game than he was after Detroit and Washington when he had a relatively clean jersey. So, Brian, you're not wrong, but that's not the culture we live in. People got to react. It was a bad loss, and especially it made worse by the way they lost it, by getting a kick blocked and the interception and just all the stuff that happened. Just, again, not positive. John from Edgerton wants to know, are the Badgers getting closer to the Don Morton era? That's been brought up. That's about the last time it seemed this, they've had down seasons, but now the trend is not great.
If they, I mean, I don't think they're going to go 0-4, but I don't think they're going to even get a sniff of 500. And if they don't,
500, are you kidding?
No, I'm saying I don't think they.
I mean, you don't think they're going to go? They're not going to go 0-8 the rest of the way.
I'm saying I don't think they will. But I don't see them getting a sniff of 500. At which point,
then that's not even.
At which point, you got to say, "Hey Barry, you want to coach a Rose Bowl again? You want to come back and athletic direct like you did just until I don't know." But it's hard to argue with the athletic director because football is the number one sport, and it's certainly the most visible. But you've got the women's programs that are just off the charts great. There are good things happening in the athletic department. And the athletic department isn't just football. So
yes,
you've got to take
yes and no, but football is the
It
driver.
is.
It's if you're not good in football, if you're not making money in football, it makes it hard for everything else.
420.
420. Everything stops on the Drew KB program at 420, and we ask a question appropriate for this time of day. It's 420. What are you, high?
Are you high? You're huffing grass?
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Rob and Chris, probably listening to us right now as they fill orders and make the best CBD products you can find anywhere. And it's made right out of Muskego. Find them online at happyplacehemp.com. Use the code Drew and KB. Get 25% off your order every time you go to the well. And they just dropped their brand new Drift sugar-free gummies. It's inspired by the Drift seltzer. Same flavors, same potencies, but you get it in an edible form. Delta 9 THC, fantastic. Check them out. Happyplacehemp.com. The code Drew and KB gets you 25% off every time. KB, what's the story?
Well, a woman in Florida, Tampa, by the name of Christian Beal. She was 24 years old, and she was driving about 60 miles an hour on the wrong side of I-4 in Tampa.
Okay.
She refused to pull over. You had a very high-risk pursuit. In the process, she did strike a police cruiser before finally being brought to a stop with a pit maneuver. The officer got up to the car and asked her, "Do you realize you were going the wrong way on the interstate?" She said, "On this interstate? No. This car? Are you serious?" And the police officer said, "Yeah." And he goes, it was you. And she said, "No, I don't think so. That was my husband driving." The police examined the car and found out there was no other person in the car with her.
Okay.
So she then eventually admitted to having two beers and failed a field sobriety test. She was charged with DUI. But, man, oh, man, if you're going to be in trouble and blame your driving on someone else and that person isn't in the car, all I can say is, what are you, high?
Are you high? You're huffing grass?
You're not going to get away with it.
Yeah.
You look again going, that was my husband driving. Oh, where
is he?
Did you kick him out somewhere? We didn't see him rolling out of the car door. Yeah, you gotta. First of all, don't do it. But if you are, you gotta come up with a better lie than that, I would think. No, wasn't me. It was my husband.
It was my husband.
And where is he? Right there. Oh, where'd he go? Huh. How about that?
All right. Check out the new gummies. Check out all the products at happyplacehemp.com. Use the code Drew and KB for 25% off. Yeah, I mean, KB, you're probably going to get some 420 questions. Are you high? Thinking that the batters could approach 500 at this point. I thought
I'm just
the beginning of the season,
nice.
I thought, okay, the bowl, it'd be nice to go to a bowl game. They're at Michigan, home against Iowa, home against Ohio State, number 1 in the country, on the road against number 6 Oregon, Washington, which we thought was a winnable game. They might be a 8-point underdog in that game at home in November. Then you got ranked Indiana, which pasted Illinois, and then Illinois, and then you got Minnesota, which has had their number for a while. Like, they're not going to be favored in any of these games. And I don't, maybe they'll pick one of them off. Like, maybe they'll play. Well, they'll rise up and play the game of the season and beat Washington.
Maybe.
Or maybe Illinois. But right now,
Illinois is looking pretty damn good.
I think there's a better chance of them losing all 8 than winning more than 2 of the remaining.
I would tend to agree.
So
it's not pretty.
No, it's not looking positive.
It is not pretty at all. Badgers. And I'm going to give a game ball. I don't know how to put this. This is probably more of a hot take, but I don't want to remember. I don't want to wait till Wednesday to give this take because I won't remember it. But it happened a couple of times over the weekend in watching the Brewers. Is there anything more regal in sports? Regal in sports than a guy who knows it's going to be his last home game with a team or the last home game of a career. The moment when he goes to the dugout steps and pauses and just tips his cap and then walks underneath. I think that
Regal.
I think that is because Mikolas did it because he's done. in St. Louis, and I think Arenado did it yesterday. And
Regal.
It's just kind of like, it's just that tip of the cap. It's not anything spectacular. It's just this subtle thank you. It's like, thanks, guys. Yeah, there's just something about that. I think that's a great moment in sports.
It is.
Just the flick of the cap.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, it was 2007. Jeff Jenkins' last game at then Miller Park. I'm pretty sure the manager was Ned Yost, and they sent him out for the last inning on defense, and then went and got him, and so he had to jog in all the way in, and they sent the other guy out, so they let Jenks kind of jog in from left field as like an honor, so he could get a big ovation and tip his cap. That was cool. Those moments are cool when you do that.
And to be that player, that how many games have you played? And there's got to be that moment where you just look up. And it's just got to be the most incredible moment in your life. Yeah. I mean, aside from the birth of a child or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
It really does. It's validation, I guess you could say.
It was interesting yesterday. They put Arenado out there, and then before the game even started, they took him out. Usually they'll play a few innings, but they immediately took him out, and I'm like, oh, that's good news for the Brewers.
Well,
yeah. Yeah, as it turned out,
he said he expects to be traded. Arenado said he expects to be traded.
Yeah,
but it is
trending that way.
It's just that
is cool.
Regal was the only word I could think of.
Yeah, that is cool. All right, keep them coming. 877-794-1973 to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. We will keep those coming. I want to hear some more of those interviews, Hunter. But then again, those interviews, it's like a party.
There was way too loud to do any in the actual clubhouse. So then everybody, whenever we wanted to interview someone, it was like, hey, can you come over here for a second? And so then
try to get them in the hallway.
Yeah. So then we just did group interviews with a bunch of people, but
that's cool.
Did what we could.
That is cool. Hey, when you're looking for a party, American Place Casinos got you covered just over the border. Easy to get to from Milwaukee, and especially the hot corner, Racine, Kenosha, even Oak Creek, Franklin, down that way. They're having Oktoberfest beginning Saturday at noon. If you dress up in your best German wear, a dirndl or lederhosen, you can win $500.
I like me a lady in a dirndl.
Exactly. A lady in a dirndl who can yodel. You got a chance to yodel and enter the yodeling contest for $1,000 in free play. They're having a pretzel toss. You can win up to $7,500 in free play. Visit AmericanPlace.com to learn all about it. And while you're there, check out the Circus Sportsbook. It's awesome. Check out the Harbor Poker Room, which is adjacent to the Circus Sportsbook. Check out all the games in between that location and then the other side, which is where the dining is, and the Lighthouse for comedy, and the La American and Asia Azteca and North Shore Steak and Seafood. Just check it all out at AmericanPlace.com.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537.
There wasn't a lot to be happy about this weekend in local sports, given the Badgers and the Packers. Brewers, different story. But a happy hour is coming up. We will be live in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge just over 30 minutes from right now. It's Drew and KB statewide on the game.
This is Packers Monday, presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest.
All right, place your bets. Place your bets.
And the game.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Heavy southbound 43 from Keith through the Marquette, and then slow in spots to the KK River. On 94, westbound jammed up from 16th to Hawley. Heavy eastbound 84th to 35th. I'm Mike Priest, and that's your latest total traffic.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. Has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
This report is sponsored by Duke's Mayo. Duke's, it's got twang.
Sunday night, October 26th, the legend and his backup meet for the first time. And Zabe, Butch, and the Russ Darrow Automotive Group want you to watch the game with them in the Steel City. Get to the GameandStuff.com contests and sign up to win this epic road trip with the fellas.
Let's go.
The GameandStuff.com/contests.
Drew and KB here with our buddies, Rob and Chris from happyplacehemp.com.
You have a wide range of products, each of which has a different effect. How should I go about finding what's right for me?
The easiest thing to do is just try stuff. And like try our sample pack, for example. You can try all 7 varieties of gummies that we currently have. And then you can see which one works best for you, because everyone's unique and everyone has different experiences. But what I tell people to look for THC and CBD ratios. Higher CBD, lower THC concentrations are more for daily use. And then the higher THC type stuff, Delta 9s, Delta 8s, those are going to be more for, the fun factor.
If I drink a can of your seltzer, what will I experience?
I would say the unique thing about the seltzer is you're going to start feeling the effects in maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour where you're not, on the couch, but you just have a really good feeling about it.
Now get 25% off your entire order with the code Drew and KB in-store and online at happyplacehemp.com.
Drew Olson from 97 through the game for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Timeout Sports Lounge. When it comes to pizza, there is no other pizza quite like Pep's Prohibition Special. It starts with a combination of sweet and slightly spicy Italian sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, yellow, green, and red peppers, and just the right amount of red onions. Real Wisconsin mozzarella, and it's finished off with fresh Italian seasoning. My gosh, that's the good stuff. Make your house a draft house with Pep's Prohibition Special Pizza.
Mark your calendar because every night out could win you a run across the Hone Bridge. Join Michelob Ultra September 24th at 3rd Street Market Hall from 7 to 9 p.m. for your chance at a race entry to cross the iconic Hone Bridge. At each stop, you can win an entry into the Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon 5K Run Walk the Hone on October 4th. Enjoy Michelob Ultra and Ultra Zero specials all night long. This summer, enjoy Michelob Ultra at St. Paul Fish Company, 90s 2K Cafe, and Who's on 3rd. Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer and the proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon.
All right, smart and good-looking listeners, KB here. The inevitable is right around the corner. Winter, snow, wind, freezing temperatures, and if your house is drafty, winter will be miserable. Miss Sue and I are thrilled with our new windows, but windows aren't the only thing that lets winter in your home. It could be your siding. That's why you need Javier and the team at Tilton Windows, Doors, and More. They've kept Milwaukee homes warm and looking good for years. Not only are they experts in window installation, they offer the industry's most advanced solid core siding that will withstand anything Wisconsin winter throws at you. Think about it. New siding protects your biggest investment. It boosts curb appeal, lowers energy costs, and the siding is backed by a lifetime limited warranties, including fade protection, and they're even transferable to the next owner of your home. So get your siding project started today. Just go to utilton.com. They'll get back to you and help you get your project started so you can be ready for a toasty warm winter. That's the letter U, Tilton.com.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Let me tell you about this new pretzel cheddar club. Hey, I'm Carlos.
And I'm Ebony. And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club
is the tangy Dijon with the pretzel bun. It takes it to a whole nother level.
It goes perfectly with the chicken and the cheddar cheese and the bacon.
Man, you know how much you love bacon. And I love the different varieties. Grilled, spicy, original. It gets you nice and excited for fall.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Here we go. For the game. Schmidt, snap, placement, kick is up, and it is good. And the Cleveland Browns have won.
That was the last moments of the Packers' 13-10 loss at Cleveland yesterday. Continuing the Drew KB program on this Monday from the Iron Jock Studios, built by Reamer Remodel. We're taking your game balls and kicks to the balls, as we always do on Mondays on the program. Send them to us, 877-794-1973. Or for all you folks using the iHeartRadio app, use the talkback function. We love our folks on the app. Please use the talkback function. Hit that little microphone. You can leave us a voice message. All right. Hunter, who is on line one?
Yes, we've got Tom in Sun Prairie.
Tom in Sun Prairie. Welcome to Drew and KB.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Has anybody given a game ball yet to Kelly Sheffield? After the debacle on Saturday, we decided to go to the volleyball game yesterday, and that was one of the best games we've seen in a long time against Florida, especially the last set went 35-33. But what Sheffield did after the game just really impressed me. He ran up and down the student sections and high-fived both sides of the student section with every one of the kids. And they just love him, and I think he is one of the best at Wisconsin, and I think he gets the game ball.
Let's give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Pop that cork, Hunter.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Pop the cork.
Celebrate what you've done.
There it is. There
you go, Kelly.
Nate from Plymouth has one on the talking text line as well. He said, how about a game ball to the whole WEAC conference for going 21-2 in non-conference, proving why the WEAC is the best conference for Division III football.
Celebrate what you've done.
21-2. Hunter, how are your lacrosse Eagles doing this year?
Good, it sounds like.
You're too busy watching the Brewers to pay any attention to that. Come on.
Play that game ball sound again.
Sure,
yeah.
Celebrate what you've done.
Doesn't it sound like that came from The Sopranos? Hey, celebrate what you've done.
A little bit.
Celebrate what you've done.
It kind of does.
Hey, Paulie, celebrate what you've done.
Ryan in Brookfield has a submission on the talking text line, and it's not a game ball or a kick. He wants to know what's with the Cardinals lineup looking like a beer league softball team.
I don't.
Who were they playing yesterday? He said, what's with the Cardinals lineup looking like a beer league softball team?
Oh, like their
physically
statures?
Yeah, physically. I mean, who was playing for them?
Alec Burleson.
Yeah, he's kind of a bulky looking guy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's not like
hit well in this.
Yeah, but it's not like they've got 9, Vogelbachs out there.
Right.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's not like Newtbar's not a big dude.
No. And is it even possible to say Lars Newtbar without laughing?
No.
Newtbar. Jordan Walker has been kind of a disappointment for them, but that dude, when last time he was at American Family Field, I see him stroll up, and it was one of those moments where, like, God, that guy's huge. He's like 6'6", 240 or something. He's huge.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, whoa.
Well, what's fun is to go back and watch that 82 series, and if you haven't seen the documentary, see how tiny those guys were. It's like I have a, even with my incredible weight loss, thank you, Milwaukee weight loss, I have an old BJ Surhoff gamer that we got in the very first clubhouse sale when our boy TVW said, "Hey, come on down, I'll let you in early." And then got beaten out by Hardcore for the Julio Machado.
Yeah.
So I have a BJ Surhoff. If I put that on, and this is his gamer. If I put that on, I would look like a Cubs fan in a Schwarber jersey. You could not get that around my body, And here this guy was a pro player. I mean, I think it was a 40.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a 42.
BJ was a really good athlete.
He was a great athlete. I mean, but he wasn't huge.
No, not at all. No. Let's go to Mark in Waukesha. He's on the talking text line. Mark, welcome to Drew and KB.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. No, I want to comment on KB's comments about the tip in the cap. Yeah, I think that is regal. I think that's a great term. It's pure class, and seems like we kind of lack that in society nowadays. So that kind of small gesture says a whole lot, all in one little like movement. But as far as kicks to the balls, I'm just throwing out there to kind of the media. When Jacob Misarowski started off so hot, they were talking about he's like the second coming, and they had the nickname Miz and stuff. And it's like, unfortunately, right now the nickname should be Miserable. People want to make
he's young.
I mean, I exactly, and I agree. And I think you got to give these guys a little time. I think he's going to be something special in the future. But I think we were as a group, and probably threw myself in there too. But we were a little too excited about putting this guy in a certain class where he just doesn't belong there yet. But on more of a hats off level, just Christian Yelich is really, I think, a big time thing for Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin. He is class personified. He is just a cool dude. And I would love to see the Brewers win a World Series, and to have him part of the team while they do it would be incredible.
That would be pretty good. I agree.
You know, the role that Christian Yelich has assumed on this team, and I'm going to tie it back to the 82 Brewers. Okay? The role that Christian Yelich has assumed is, and what's the word that I look about? I'm trying to think of the way to describe it. He has become the new Robin Yount as it pertains to his admiration, adoration, and I guess friendship with Uke. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, because you look at
players,
of all the players, you know, everyone looked at, oh, Robin and Uke were tight, right? And so that's the way you always thought of this. But more and more as I watch these post game things, and when I was watching the Euchre celebration with Costas and everything, it's like, you know, he's really kind of this generation. He's really kind of that Euchre guy.
Uke was tight with Adames. He's tight with Peralta. Sure. I mean, the longer you're around Uke, the more you're in his orbit, the more you're.
But he was tight with a lot of guys on the 82 team too. But Robin,
it was a different level in the 82 team because he was on the road throwing BP. He was, you know, going out with them. He was
sure, but you know, there was Robin always rose to just a notch higher level, and I kind of see that relationship with Yelich, that he's got Yelich as a deeper seems to have a deeper connection.
Uke was very tight with Braun too, and then Braun took Yelich under his wing, and Uke then, you know, when Braun exited, Yelich and Uke were very close too. Uke, I remember Uke being, I saw him a lot of times just sitting and chatting with Giovanni Gallardo a lot, you know, because starting pitchers have more downtime like during the week, but he was another guy. So, man, there isn't a guy even the new guy that's been there 2 days felt like he knew Euchre his whole life, right? It's just, that's the way Uke was.
Well, he made him feel that way.
Yeah, absolutely. But he had like anybody. I mean, you talk to Casey McGee and guys, especially if like you took guys fishing and stuff. And yeah, there's just so many. Mike Matheny, he was close to so many players over the years that have come through. And the longer you're there, but you're right, of this, like, you know, if Yelich plays another couple of years and, you know, Made and Pena come up, he'll be telling them Euchre stories.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be carrying the torch there a little bit.
There's just so many things that are kind of, and I'm not going to get into the whole superstition thing, but should the Brewers win the World Series, this documentary is going to be spectacular. With the underlying backstories that are going on here. I mean, more so than anything in 82.
And as for, I got to cape up a little bit, because was it the media that created the Mizorowski frenzy, or was it his performance?
Yeah.
He's like, didn't he have like 10 no-hit innings out of the chute over 2 starts? He beat Skeens in front of a sellout crowd in a pitching showdown between the last Cy Young. He beat Kershaw. Like he made the All-Star team. Like, I don't think it was the media creating it. It was more of a reflection of how good he was pitching. Has he regressed and come back to earth? Yes, absolutely.
I don't think the media.
But it wasn't like a media. It wasn't. We weren't selling that. We weren't overselling it. He was that dominant when he came on. When he came on the scene, right? I don't think it was a media thing.
I don't think the media created it. I think the fans created it, and the media acknowledged it and reported on it.
You're just reporting on what's happening, and like people couldn't get enough. Like his starts were must-see TV, and then they transformed into, oh yeah, Miz is going today, and now after all the talk, he might end up in the bullpen for the playoffs, right? If he's on the roster at all, there's a chance he might not be. It speaks to the depth that they have. But yeah, it wasn't. Nobody was overselling him. You just were, to your point, KB, you were enjoying the ride as it was. But his first 3 starts, wasn't that before and then he went to the Mets and got lit up a little bit, and then he bounced back from that and had a couple more good starts. Yeah, and then since then, he's obviously been, like we said, the market corrected, but his first 3
he's going to be great. There's a
First 5 of his 6 starts were pretty electric.
I mean, there's a maturity thing there, that he'll learn how to control a lot of that.
Well, think about everything he's been through, getting called up,
no
making a deal,
doubt.
going to the All-Star game.
Going to the All-Star
and now
game,
taking part in a champagne celebration.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot for anybody who's 23, no doubt. All right, we're getting close to opening the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. We will have more game balls and kicks to the balls. We'll have our drink of the day, our tavern of the day, and all that good stuff lies ahead. It's Drew and KB statewide on the game.
The people have spoken, and the results are undeniable. Ridgetop Exteriors delivers. We swept the People's Choice Awards: Best Roofing, Best Siding, Best Windows, and Best Overall Home Improvement Company. That's not just winning, that's setting the standard with expert craftsmanship, top materials, and service that keeps homeowners coming back. 4 categories, 4 wins, 1 name. Ridgetop Exteriors, your only choice for home exteriors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com and experience the difference today.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Browns handed the Packers their first loss of the year after kicker Andre Schmidt nailed a 55-yarder as time expired. Green Bay will try to rebound Sunday night against Dallas. After clinching their 3rd straight NL Central title over the weekend, the Brewers open a 3-game set with the Padres tonight as the regular season winds down. And Week 3 in the NFL wrapping up with a Monday Night Football showdown between the Ravens and Lions in Baltimore. I'm Frank Garrity.
Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Drew Wilson here from 97.3 The Game, and I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies while watching the big game. And now Daisy's come out with delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and a Daisy Ranch Dip, and these are a game changer. These are as delicious as homemade dips, and they are made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. I invite you to visit your local grocer and check out Daisy French Onion Dip and Daisy Ranch Dip. They are truly a game changer. Look for them at a grocery store near you.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer, the originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal, writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide, because legendary stories start with the light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Go, Pack, go! Cheer on the Packers as they take on the Dallas Cowboys at Jerry World for some Sunday Night Football, September 28th, 7:20 p.m. kickoff. Grab your friends and head to Classic Lanes in Oak Creek, Varsity Club in New Berlin, Fox's Pub in Greenfield, or Brass Monkey in West Allis for Miller Lite specials and promotions during all Packers games. Miller Lite. Tastes great, less filling. It's Miller time. Go, Pack, go!
Hey, it's Shanna. And okay, when's the last time you had a true date night? If you can't remember, well, it's time to check out Potawatomi Casino Hotel then, because you can go there and have an elegant, classy dining experience over at Dream Dance Steakhouse. Of course, you can bop around at all of their stunning bars there too, like Bar 360 and 1100 Bar and Lounge. You can also get your dance on over at 1100 on Saturdays. And then, of course, to top it all off, you can book a room and stay overnight at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Your win is waiting.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Love, Jacobs, McKinney, Golden, and now Micah Parsons? This year's gonna be fun. Now's the time to set a game plan for your Green Bay and Wisconsin pigskin parties. This is Marie from Discount Liquor. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Whether you need an ice cold keg, a bottle of your favorite wine, a unique craft brew, or hard-to-find liquor, we have everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Maine in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings.
Wherever you're tailgating, we'll get you all set up with your favorite beverages. We're open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Dude, did you order the new iPhone 17 Pro? Got it from Verizon, the best 5G network in America. I've never looked so good.
You look the same.
But with this camera, everything looks better, especially me.
You haven't changed your hair in 15 years. Selfies?
Check, please.
New and existing customers can get the new iPhone 17 Pro, designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever. With eligible phone trade-in and unlimited ultimate. Any condition guaranteed. Best 5G source root metrics data, United States, 1H 2025. All rights reserved. Trade-in and additional terms apply for all offers. See Verizon.com for details.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel Inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
You know that expression, put a little spring in your step? Well, whoever said it must have been talking about Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with Glide Step, you get a pillow-like soft landing, then an explosive takeoff. It makes walking feel effortless. So springy, it's almost like you're floating. And speaking of effortless, have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins technology? Just step in, and instantly your shoes are on. No bending down and no touching. Try Glide Step hands-free Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Baby.
Drew and KB from the Iron Jock Studios, soon to transform to the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. Speaking of transformations, I encourage everybody to go check out GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Perhaps sign up for a complimentary testosterone test. The services that they can provide go beyond that. However, surf around the website and check it out. Find a clinic near you. They're in Middleton, La Crosse, Eau Claire, Appleton, 5 area locations around the Metroplex here in Milwaukee, including KB, Germantown, Brookfield, Shorewood, Hales Corners as well. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. If you're feeling run down, if you're feeling sluggish, now's not the time. You might be feeling that way because it's getting darker earlier, and it's going to start being cooler nights, and it's easy to just cocoon and bunker in. But no, you should be able to seize the day and seize the evening too. Those hours between 6 and 10 p.m. are the times when you can get stuff done. But if you're not feeling 100%, if your energy levels are low, go get yourself checked. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Free, no obligation testosterone test, and they will take care of you, walk you through the results, and see if you can benefit from their services. It's a medically supervised program, and also they'll do weight loss stuff, vitamin therapies, peptide therapies, EPAT therapies if you're having a problem bouncing back from a sports injury or just a malady. You can improve your energy, your focus, your sleep, your mood, your confidence, and your muscle recovery after workouts. Go check them out at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. All right, still taking the game balls and kicks to the balls, still trying to process. I guess both losses this weekend were shocking, but the Packers loss was more shocking because of the way the Badgers have been in a spiral. But we talked about it at the football feast when we were in Fitchburg on Thursday, and Matt LePay said this is it was one of the most pivotal games of the Luke Fickell era to date. The Badgers needed to win that because of what lies ahead, and they didn't. And now if they had won that game Saturday, you'd be looking forward to the game at Michigan.
Yeah,
now it's like there's a sense of dread, and that's going to be on national TV.
Ugly.
Yes. Things are not good with the Badger football program right now. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Just not in a good spot. Can it get better? We'll see. You know what'll make it better? Hanging out in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. Mm-hmm. That is coming up next. You're listening to Drew and KB statewide on the game.
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
This sports update is brought to you by American Place Casino. Nonstop excitement just over the Wisconsin border in Lake County, Illinois. I'm Dave Gasper. Coming off a disappointing loss to the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, the Green Bay Packers are now looking ahead to their Week 4 matchup on Sunday night against the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys got some bad injury news today as wide receiver C.D. Lamb has a high ankle sprain and will be out for this weekend's matchup with the Packers. The Milwaukee Brewers are NL Central champions once again after clinching the division for the third straight year over the weekend. With 6 games left to play in the regular season, the Brewers begin their final road series against the Padres. Freddie Peralta is on the bump tonight for the Crew. Nick Pivetta is the starter for San Diego. First pitch is at 8:40 p.m. I'm Dave Gasper on Milwaukee's most listened to sports station, 97.3 The Game.
Guys, what's going on? Tim Allen joined Pipe Bomb and me tonight as we talk about the division champ Milwaukee Brewers. It's a 3-game set against the Padres. Post-game show with Potawatomi Sportsbook here on The Game.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Northbound on 41, there is a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder at Ryan Road. Then on the exit ramp to westbound on the Mitchell interchange, there's a stalled semi that sits on the right shoulder. Southbound 43, traffic still jammed up between Brown and Marquette. I'm Will Hetzel. That's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
KB, everyone is raving about Central Standard's brandy old-fashioned in a can.
They should. It's made with their award-winning North Brandy, infused with Leinenkugel's delicious flavors used in their shandy lines.
Just grab a can, open, and enjoy. No mixing or muddling needed.
So good. Join us out here.
What's up? It's Russell Nicolay with Nicolay Law. You're listening to 97.3 The Game, the #1 sports talk station in Milwaukee. For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law or visit us at nicolaylaw.com. Get the beard, get the win.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
KB here. I went to Milwaukee Weight Loss because they know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat a day with their doctor-developed program. No prepackaged meals, and best of all, no workouts. Perfect for me.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-433-4008 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Broadcasting from the all-new Iron Jock Studios, built by Reamer Remodel. Turn it up! This is WRNW-FM Milwaukee, 97.3 The Game.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with a new way to enjoy our beautiful planet. Reduce your impact on the environment this fall by packing a waste-free lunch for school or work. Avoid foods with excessive packaging. Use reusable cutlery, napkins, cups, bags, and containers, and recycle or compost any waste when possible. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Family's bigger? Out of space? We can help you find a new place. Just make Tri-City your first call. We are here to help. Loan large or small. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Gear up for October baseball. Brewers postseason tickets go on sale Tuesday, September 23rd. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run unlike any other.
You work hard to provide for yourself and your family, and that's why identity theft is so scary. Not only does it pose a threat to your financial well-being, everything you've worked so hard for, but it's also a danger to your family. Even children can be victims. It's not their money thieves go after, obviously, but their social security number. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Act now and save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela. Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, smart and good-looking listeners across Wisconsin. Drew and KB's Timeout Sports Lounge is now open. So grab a bar stool and belly up because it's time to knock a few back with your host, Drew and KB.
So basically you have Jim, Jack, Johnny Red, Johnny Black, and Jose, all my favorite men.
Time for drinking, bud.
Drink up while it's cold, ladies. Toilet wine is a big thing in there, and people get their drink on.
We sat and drank with the sun on our shoulders and felt like free men.
I don't know what inferior swill this is, but I ordered a Lagavulin. Set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. 1 by 1.
We hope there isn't a single fan who is having a problem with the two-fisted slopper.
Drink. The king commands it.
They took the bar! The whole bar!
Medium dry martini, lemon peel, shaken, not stirred.
Who's thirsty? Welcome in. The Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge is open for business. We encourage you to check out thecentralstandard.com to learn about those delicious spirits, and then just join us right here for happy hour. I'm Drew, and that's KB.
What's going on, brother man?
Happy everybody's hanging out with us. Hunter Baumgart as well, back from his down and back trip to St. Louis over the weekend.
God bless you, dude.
What'd you get? Like 5 hours of sleep at a crappy hotel and then drive back?
Yeah, we got I probably did. Honestly, yeah, because I did the post-game show Saturday night. So I was
So wait, you did the post-game show to Saturday night, got up, drove to St.
left
Louis
at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning.
Covered the game.
Long, obviously, post-game coverage. Slept last night, got up this morning on the road at about 6:30, and here we are.
Man, that is the worst drive.
You're going to crash hard tonight.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I can't
Actually, it
promise
might,
I'm going to
it might not hit you till tomorrow.
It might not. It's starting to hit me. I can confirm it's starting to hit me right about now.
That's I had to do when my son was in school down there. I had over 4 years, I think 3 times I had to do the down and back in one day.
Oh,
and that's 5.5 hours of hell.
That, but it's just like
that is 5.5 hours of pure hell.
It was smooth. We had good weather.
When
for the
you
most
get
part,
and you don't even get, once you get to St. Louis, there's like half of Illinois left.
Yeah.
I mean, Illinois is
forever.
way down in redneck land. Yeah. When you get down to that tip, man, that's a tip I don't, no.
No, not a chance.
Just the tip? No, I don't think so. I don't want that part.
Like the drive to Minneapolis is what? 75, 90 minutes shorter than St. Louis, but it seems so much better. It's so
it
much
really
better.
does,
It's
because
there's more scenery, I guess. It's more,
I mean, there's trees.
Yeah.
For starters,
topography changes.
Yeah, there's just nothing. Once you get there in the middle, probably an hour past Rockford, it's just nothing but corporate farms.
If you've never been through Nebraska, but you've been through like a big chunk of central Illinois, you get the gist.
Well, the worst,
it's very similar.
Like the worst drive that I think was from outside of Minneapolis when you go to Fargo and into Montana, North Dakota into Montana. I remember going through North Dakota and saying to the guy who was driving another car, we were taking cars out there, and we stopped for gas, and I go, God, does Montana suck? And he goes, you're not even out of North Dakota yet.
Oh,
that is absolutely brutal.
All right. Give us your game balls and kicks to the balls on this Monday, 877-794-1973. But right now, KB, what's the cocktail of the day we're serving? What's our special today?
Well, the cocktail of the day is something that I'm giving it to the sports fans here and the fans of the Drew and KB show, because it's something they really didn't get to see all weekend. And that is called the Red Zone.
Oh, baby.
And that would be the standard issue vodka, slow gin, and then lemonade. Boy, that sounds like a transition drink, doesn't it?
Wow. Yeah, vodka, slow gin, and lemonade.
Ooh. Yeah, but that's
slow gin.
Slow gin. That's what I refer to as the transition drinks.
Yeah.
When you went from beer and you were trying to make that big jump into hard liquor, the tequila sunrise, the slow gin fizz, the lime vodka sour. Those were all
lime vodka sour.
Those were all the college big liquor drinks. It's like, that's not even liquor.
That's awful.
But that pairs well perfectly with something that, and I think every single clubhouse, when they have that champagne celebration.
Oh, yep. I know where you're going.
You do?
Yep.
Yeah, they should serve with it. They should just have a buffet table out of Pep's Draft House pizzas. It's the only pizza we serve here in the Timeout Sports Lounge. Big toppings and even bigger taste. 14 different flavor varieties, personal sizes as well. 3 different crusts. You could turn your house into a draft house with a Pep's Draft House pizza. You could, you know what? You do it at the celebration. Your clubhouse becomes a clubhouse.
Oh.
H-A-U. So with Pep's Clubhouse Pizza, you see what I did there, Hunter?
I saw exactly what you did there, KB.
And ask Hunter, the Pep's Draft House Pizza, or should we call it the Pep's Clubhouse Pizza, is 3 mms good, right?
Like a 3-peat in the division.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, well played, Hunter.
Nice job, Hunter.
He may be tired and jet lagged,
But
lagged, but he's still bringing it.
If there's something that's going to get him pumped up like that, it is going to be.
No doubt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Draft House Pizza.
House. The
All
clubhouse.
Chris in Waukesha has a well-timed kick to the huevos for us. Kick to the balls to Rich Bisaccia for being the highest paid special teams coach in the NFL. The Packers special teams is anything but. Yeah. I mean, getting a field goal block like that, the operation, we mentioned Shelby Harris from the Browns getting a paw up there, and he's got a knack for it, but that's just, you take that as automatic. McManus missed a field goal against Commanders, but that looked like the operation was clean. He just missed it. But that, they almost got the first kick blocked, the one that was good, and then to get the second one blocked at that juncture, it's never a good time to get a kick blocked, but it was awful. And if you were watching the league on the red zone, in the witching hour, there was like 3 kicks blocked in about a span of 10 minutes of like real time. Like, oh my God, the kick block there. The one in Philadelphia that ended the game. Like, it was crazy yesterday. Blocked kicks were the were the play of the day pretty much.
But did you get the feeling that when that Packers kick got blocked, it's like they were just going through the motions? It didn't seem like.
Well, I mean,
there was a sense of. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they just got pushed back 3 yards.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's like the middle. I don't know about were they trying and just got smoked or stuffed or what? Kraft didn't hold the edge. The guy got around. Denzel Ward got around him, and almost got a fingernail on it. But I was watching that, and then I realized that the kick got through, and I was like, "Whoa, somebody got a pop there," because they got such penetration.
But it was like, oh, this is just a regular field goal. Let's go. That I don't know. That's
it's kind of how you're supposed to treat it, right? I mean,
right, but
it's supposed to be routine.
Maybe it got too routine. That's what I guess I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, they didn't block.
I don't know.
They didn't block it well.
No, they didn't.
But the thing is, like, there are plays that you don't block it well that they don't get blocked. Sometimes it's just a luck with a guy just getting a paw up there right in the path of the ball.
This is true.
Yeah. Mike in Kenosha said, my mother-in-law moved to Marion, Illinois, which is down in the tip. It's like a damn town from Walking Dead. I will absolutely never go back there again.
Well, and the fact your mother-in-law is there probably is a good deterrent.
Well, I was wondering about that myself. Do you have a good relationship with
that's
her?
where they have you go down there and the town has got a lot of those grain elevators, but not the big tall ones, the short, stout, round ones with the with the triangle type roof. They're all over the place.
Yeah. My in-laws live in Kentucky, and they've been there a couple years, and I've not been there to visit them yet. Not that I don't like them. It just every time a trip comes up, I have conflicts and can't go. So my wife and daughter have gone down there a couple of times, but I just haven't had occasion to yet.
I'm kind of thinking, and Sue and I were talking about this, because you're looking at retirement, and it's like, I kind of want to go to I kind of want to just cash everything in and just go to a town where nobody knows you, but it's like it's not a big city, It's just like a town, like a quaint town, and but it's got to have a moderate climate. And I'm trying to think.
Say KB's headed to Asheville, North Carolina.
Is it? I mean, well, North Carolina was one I was thinking, but then it's got to have a moderate climate.
Yeah, that would be.
And you can't get into you can't get it. Tennessee is not. That gets sticky. When you get in that. Columbia River Valley, Mississippi River Valley, it gets really, Memphis is nasty, like in the summer. But something like that, where it's between 80 and 90 in the summer, for highs, maybe 40 to 50 in the winter. Easy to get around in.
Yeah.
I'd go south too, but I'm not that big a fan of sweet tea. Don't you have to drink sweet? You have to drink sweet tea with everything when you get that way. Oh yeah, and I don't want a low country boil. I don't want that.
That's a concern.
I don't want my corn in with my fish. I have no interest in that.
877-794-1973.
Keep my corn out of my fish.
Yeah. Do we give Aaron Rodgers a game ball?
Sure.
For passing Brett Favre?
Why not?
On the all-time touchdowns list?
Celebrate what you've done.
I think so.
He's now number 4. It was his first of 2 touchdown passes in the Steelers' 21-14 victory over the Patriots. They gave him 509, one more than Favre, and now he's at 510 with the game winner in the fourth quarter. He trails Peyton Manning, 539, Drew Brees, 571, and Tom Brady, 649. He ain't going to catch those. That guy, I mean, probably won't catch Peyton Manning either, but hey, never know. He's now number 4. He has passed Brett Favre on the all-time list. So, I guess he could catch Peyton Manning. He's on pace to early, but we shall see. One of the things I was kicking around with some buddies is like the way that this Packers game coming up on Sunday night is totally going to be the Micah Parsons show, right? Everything's going to be about Micah Parsons because everything's magnified with Dallas in the league and ESPN, and it's going to be pretty crazy. I think it'll be interesting to see what this week is like in terms of the Micah Parsons returns to Dallas hype. And if he gets a sack, if he sacks Dak Prescott, does he stand and look at Jerry Jones's box and stuff? Because they're going to be, not that they don't show Jerry Jones a lot during broadcasts, but it's going to be overload this week. And did you happen to see what the Cowboys did yesterday against the Bears?
Yes.
Horrific.
They're not good.
Yeah, well.
Speaking of the Cowboys, we're starting to get some people sending us pictures of McIntosh and Mike McCarthy sitting in the suite.
Yeah, that was at the volleyball game. That was an interesting optic based on what happened on Saturday. Clearly coincidence, right? Clearly.
It would have to be.
I'm sure Mac has a lot of friends.
I'm sure that he does.
Absolutely.
And I think the biggest thing would be, I would look at this and go, why would a professional football coach want to go back into this slop and this nightmare?
I think he does.
I know. No, I'm saying people go, does that mean he's going back? And my retort to them is, why would you want to?
Yeah.
If you handled it from a professional, I would not want to deal with that.
There's no way.
At all.
How's it going for Belichick?
Well, that's just
not great.
Yeah, but he doesn't care.
Not great, Bob. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Hey, our correspondent, Wink McAllister, was actually he's charged with providing us a report on the Packers Browns game. Did he make it to Lake Erie? I have no idea. He sent his report in. I've not heard it. But Wink McAllister, the veteran sportscaster, brought out of retirement by KB several years ago to be our Packers guy.
This is his final year.
He's back at it again. Yeah, this is his farewell tour. It's the rocking chair tour.
He didn't get anything from Cleveland, from the Cleveland press. So when he goes to games, it's not like they're showering him with gifts like they do.
Not like they're recognizing him or having him, recognized on the scoreboard or anything.
No.
But he's our Winker. You love him. We love him. Let's take a listen to Wink McAllister's recap of the Packers' 13-10 loss yesterday on the shores of Lake Erie.
Hello, everybody again. This is Wink McAllister with your Green Bay Packers replay. Week 3 found the Packers in Cleveland, Ohio to face the Cleveland Steamers in a game of professional tackling football. The Packers came into the game undefeated, while the Steamers came into the game winless. It was going to be an interesting matchup, folks. I was eating my superstitious game day meal of unstuffed ravioli, plain saltine crackers, kibbas, and cantaloupe in the press box before the game. I was talking with a colleague of mine from Cleveland and asked him how the Steamer team looked this season. He just looked at me and said, Wink, do me a favor. Go to the information superhighway and look up the phrase Cleveland Steamers. Well, I did just that, and oh my, who would name their football team after something like that? It was right then I realized, they changed the names to the Cleveland Browns. Oh, so that's why they changed their name to the Ohio Browns. Much better if you ask me, and still Cleveland Steamer adjacent, if you will. So I decided to try something different this week and write my game coverage using artificial intelligence. I went to ChatGHB because that's what all the kids use today. I can tell you this right now, there's no way on God's green and gold earth that a computer can bring the same level of detail and excitement to a game replay like the old Winker can. Well, I'm going to read this word for word just to see how good this intelligence really is. So let's take a listen, shall we? The Packers came out firing on all cylinders, pushing the Browns back with stalwart defense and nifty passing from quarterback Jordan Love, whoever that is. The Packers got on the board first with a three-point kicking kick by Brandon McManus. Again, no idea. And then they capped off another long drive when Jordan Love fired a touchdown pass to John Fitzpatrick to give the Packers a 10-0 lead at intermission. In the second half, Green Bay's signal caller tried to rally the troops, sending spirals through the autumn air and hammering the line with bruising rushes. But the Browns' defense stood stout as an iron curtain, tossing the Packers for losses and plucking passes from the air like ripe apples from the orchard. But folks, the tide then turned faster than a nickel at a soda fountain. In the fourth quarter, the Cleveland defense tightened like a corset, bottling up the pack and forcing a critical interception late in the game that was returned deep into Packers territory. Then it was Quinshon Judkins bulldozing into the end zone to tie the score at 10-10. The stadium shook with the kind of hullabaloo that could wake the ghosts of Jim Brown. With just mere ticks left on the ticker, the Packers lined up for a go-ahead field goal. The Browns' defense blocked the kick like a brick wall, and with seconds left in the game, the Cleveland ball kicker booted a mammoth 55-yard missile through the uprights as time expired, and the dog pound howled like a Victory Day parade on Victory Day. Well, there it is, folks. The Packers head to Dallas next week to face Dick Preston in the Texas Cowpokes. Let's hope they can get this train back on the tracks. Until then, this is Wink McAllister reminding you the next time you want to shortcut things, don't go to ChatGHB. As you just heard, they couldn't get anything right. So I guess it's not that intelligent after all. Goodbye, everybody.
Actually, they got everything right.
The old Winker.
So he goes to ChatGHB, which it's not.
No.
They get everything right, and he thinks it's wrong. That's a peek into the insight that Wink brings.
The old Winker.
Jordan Love, who's that?
Who's that? Quite a twist.
I do know this, that he was
Steamers.
very happy to see Corey Bajorquez there. You know,
oh my goodness,
one of his favorite players.
No doubt. I was surprised. He was one of those like, oh, he's their punter. He's still getting a check.
Exactly.
That guy. Oh my goodness. All right. 877-794-1973. I'm looking up in there, the pregame run up to tonight's matchup. Pretty good matchup tonight with the Lions and the Ravens.
I think the Ravens are going to roll.
That's a pretty good matchup.
Mm-hmm.
In Milwaukee, you'll hear that on 97.3 The Game. Hunter will have no baseball pregame show tonight because that game doesn't start till 8:40.
I will actually.
Oh, on 920?
No, here on 97.3, but it's going to be 6 to 7 leading into Monday Night Football coverage.
Okay, so it's the pre-show.
Exactly. So you get a little early, and then if you want to listen to it right up to the first pitch, you could listen to it via podcast form.
You're like creating more work for yourself. What the hell are you doing?
Hey, it's
whippersnapper.
It's yeah.
So
anyway.
they're just spinning through, and they're asking the panel on ESPN who had the most impressive victory yesterday, and we just got one submission for Bear fan Bob's Chicago Bears.
They did take it to.
They did. I mean, they
did take it to the Cowboys.
Ben Johnson has he's broken the seal. They popped some champagne for him, but yeah, the Eagles win the comeback. They had no business winning that game, and then they did. So
I certainly
that was impressive.
I don't think the Bears are going to be climbing to the top of the North Division standings anytime soon.
No,
but
hey, they're off the schneid.
Yeah, good for them.
I mean, and if you have any hope, if you have, even hitting an inside straight and making a playoff run, starting 0-3 is not the way. That's why the Browns were playing with urgency yesterday, maybe more than the Packers. Maybe the Packers were looking ahead to Dallas. Maybe the Packers were high on their own supply. Or maybe there's a trend. I saw someone point it out, and I can't remember where I saw it, but I think coming off of a bye week or like the mini bye that the Packers just had, an extended break like that, I think McCarthy. I think LaFleur is 8-8. McCarthy was really good in those circumstances. LaFleur's been, they're better off. Put it this way: the Packers are better off playing a Thursday game after a Sunday than they are playing a Sunday after a Thursday.
Well, they're
historically.
Maybe it's because there's a little bit urgency in game prep too, that you don't have time to think about anything.
Yeah, maybe
that could have something.
Maybe
to do
or
with
just I don't know if it does seem to be a trend though that they don't play well given that. So.
Well, you get the Cowboys next week. If they don't absolutely take the Cowboys apart,
and Cowboys into the bye, yeah, they should be angry, and
that's into the bye this early too.
I know.
It doesn't. It seems like, well, that's because they had that mini bye, so it's going to seem like the first third of the season is dragging on forever.
Yeah,
then the last part of the season is going to come like a fire hose.
When we got to yesterday, that Commanders game felt like a month ago. Right, because it seemed like a month since the pack. Like Larry McCarron said that during the pregame show. He's like, it feels like we've been off for a month, and it was, it did feel that way. And then right when you feel like you're getting into the rhythm of the season again, here comes the bye week, and we get a week off to watch the rest of the league again. So it is it's a weird circumstance. But I can't remember the last time the Packers throughout this historic run. The one thing you usually didn't have to worry about was the offensive line. And the offensive line was abysmal yesterday. It was abysmal. They couldn't open any holes for Josh Jacobs. What do you have? Like 30 yards on 16 carries or something like that. And Love was pressured on half of his dropbacks, hit a couple times, sacked 5 times and hit a couple of times and under duress. And, again, I don't think Love played that badly. And I don't think his performance is a concern. There's a lot of folks out there. He'll never win. He's a game manager. He'll never win a Super Bowl. Well, yeah, pump the brakes on that. Is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Well, I'd pump the brakes on that too. But it's somewhere in between. And there's a big gap between, the Bradys and Rodgerses and Brees and Mahomes and guys that at the bottom of the rung of guys who have won Super Bowls. Hell, Eli Manning won 2, and I'd still rather have Jordan Love than Eli Manning. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, he can win a Super Bowl with this group, especially if the defense is elite, which it is right now. But any quarterback facing the duress, I mean, just, watch Aaron Rodgers, some of that tape when he was playing behind that crappy Jets offensive line. It's hard to be great when you don't have time. So that's not, as Jim Polzin pointed out earlier when we talked to him from the State Journal, he's farther down the list of things to be concerned about. Was the pick bad? It was horrible, horrific, historically bad. Might be one of the worst passes he ever throws in his career. But I don't think it wasn't a horrible game for Love. Bad pass, bad decision, granted. But it's not like, let's not overreact to it is what I'm saying. All right. That's what we do on Mondays is overreact to things. 877-794-1973 gets you in. I mentioned Game Day Men's Health. The other place that I go for to get healthy, Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. You need to check these guys out if you're having pain, no matter what it is. If you have a sports injury, well, that's a no-brainer, right? And KB, I've been walking around lately, and I was going up the stairs yesterday. And I'm starting to feel. I think it's because we talk about it so much. My Achilles are feeling tight.
Oh,
I need to get that checked because
don't scare me.
I got to start Googling preventive stretches and preventive because I'm starting to worry about it. It's because we've planted the seed. The old man injury. I don't play pickleball.
Oh dear.
But if I was to go out and try to play pickleball, I know I'd probably snap. So I have to look that up. But if you do have an injury, like I was limping around on a hip that needed to be replaced, I didn't know it. I knew it was hurt. And then our buddies Jim and Kurt, when we were in Vegas, told me, "What are you doing? Go get it checked." So I went and got it checked. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I met Dr. Matthew Bong. He took the x-ray and said, yeah, you're bone on bone. You should have had a hip replaced a while ago. Went and had this procedure, and it was incredible. The level of service, the professionalism that I encountered there. I tell people all the time, if you're going to go, don't even think about it. If you're thinking about it, don't think about it. Just go. Go to Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. orthowisconsin.com is the website. The facility is first class. The treatment the procedure was great. And again, I was up and around, and I wish I had done it sooner. And that's the way you're going to feel too, whether you need a joint replaced or whether you're just been bothered by something. When do you know it's time? When you can't take it anymore. That's when it's time. But go to orthowisconsin.com and don't suffer. I'm telling you, don't suffer, because we're guys, and I suffered for a year and a half longer than I should have.
I had my first hip done like 23 years ago, and I'm feeling like there's a little impingement happening, and that I may have to have
need a tune-up.
I might need a tune-up.
Well, I can recommend the place. Go check these guys out. Visit orthowisconsin.com to get started. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference, and they do it. And no matter what your malady is, if you got wrist problems, spine, back, neck, anything that's bugging you, go get it checked out. They're the best in the business. They're local, and visit orthowisconsin.com. All right, we're in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge, enjoying some happy hour. We're happy that the Brewers clinched the division title. The magic number for them to get the number 1 overall seed sits at 3 with 6 games left. Brewers are off Thursday. Phillies are off tonight. Magic number to vanquish the entire American League, and by that I mean Toronto, is 1. 1 win by the Brewers, 1 loss by the Blue Jays means the Brewers have home field advantage in the World Series if they get there. So they will have right now they have home field against everybody except Philadelphia, and they will soon vanquish the Jays. That's how close we are. Hunter, I don't know if they're going to do another celebration for winning the number 1 overall seed.
No,
not even a toast.
You can't. No,
I don't think so.
I think just a toast would be appropriate.
Maybe a toast. A toast would be cool.
Yeah, you can't do another celebration because it gets ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, it's just like, okay, now, they've had their fun. Now it's time to get guys healthy, get guys feeling good, and start thinking about what's going to happen now that you've got that first round bye wrapped up.
I don't think it's soaked in some for people for the well, I don't know, maybe it has for some people until we really find out with Brandon Woodruff. That is
devastating.
Yeah. Let's just hope that's the only one, because it is tradition for the Brewers to enter the playoffs
Unreal.
Hamstrung by an injury, unexpected though it may be. Yeah, that is going to be something. That's something to watch. All right, keep them coming. Game Balls and Kicks, 877-794-1973. We're in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me.
The Packers get their first setback of the season with a shocking loss in Cleveland.
And it is good. And the Cleveland Browns have won.
This is Reaction Monday.
Penalties, a key interception turnover, and the Packers fall for the first time this season, losing in Cleveland after leading by 10 in the fourth quarter.
Now, here's traffic from Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Call the Tri-City Total Traffic Tip Line at 414-944-5111.
Eastbound 94 gridlocked between the Zoo Interchange and the Stadium Interchange. A 14-minute delay there to get from Moreland to Marquette, 22 minutes. A little better going westbound to get to Moreland. It's a 20-minute drive, stop and go between Marquette and Mitchell. I'm Will Hatzel, and that's your latest total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Prime Big Deal Days. Prime Big Deal Days are happening on October 7th and 8th with savings up to 40% off. This is your chance to grab that item you've been thinking about. It's Prime Big Deal Days, coming soon, October 7th and 8th.
For award-winning injury lawyers, when you're injured, you call Nicolay Law. Get the beer, get the win.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. When dining out or shopping at the grocery store, ask for sustainable seafood. By choosing sustainable seafood, you can help reduce overfishing, bycatch, loss of top predators, illegal fishing, and other harmful environmental impacts. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Mark your calendar because every night out could win you a run across the Hone Bridge. Join Michelob Ultra September 24th at 3rd Street Market Hall from 7 to 9 p.m. for your chance at a race entry to cross the iconic Hone Bridge. At each stop, you can win an entry into the Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon 5K Run Walk the Hone on October 4th. Enjoy Michelob Ultra and Ultra Zero specials all night long. This summer, enjoy Michelob Ultra at St. Paul Fish Company, 90s 2K Cafe, and Who's on 3rd. Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer and the proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon.
Drew Wilson here. That sharp pain in your back, the stiffness in your neck, you don't have to live with it. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin offers expert spine care right here in our community. From diagnostics to rehab to surgery if needed, they'll guide you every step of the way. When I was in pain, my first thought was to reach out to OAW. It was the best decision I ever made. Book your appointment at orthowisconsin.com. That's orthowisconsin.com. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Introducing the new Dell AI PC powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps do your busy work for you, so you can fast forward through editing images, designing presentations, generating code, debugging code, summarizing meeting notes, finding files, managing a schedule, and responding to Jim's long emails. Leaving all the time in the world for the things you actually want to do. No offense, Jim. Get a new Dell AI PC at dell.com/AI-PC. How those ahead stay ahead.
Hello, smart and good-looking listeners. Chef Adam Pavlak here, friend of the Drew and KB Show. I would like to invite you to join me and some culinary friends for the 7th Annual Milwaukee Chef Collaboration Dinner. The event, which will be held Sunday, November 9th at Elder and Rhyme on Mayfair Road in Wauwatosa, is like a culinary all-star game. 13 of the top chefs in the Milwaukee area will join forces for an 11-course dinner that will feature beverage pairings from Tripper Duval of the Lost Whale and music from Joe Ray. Proceeds from the event will benefit my charity, of course, Cooking for Kids, along with Hunger Task Force, Girls on the Run of Southeastern Wisconsin, the Alzheimer's Association, Running Rebels, and other local charities. For information and to purchase tickets, visit cookingforkidswi.org. That's cookingforkidswi.org.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of The Pen, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable. And one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, The Pen is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 or in Mississippi.
You work hard to provide for yourself and your family, and that's why identity theft is so scary. Not only does it pose a threat to your financial well-being, everything you've worked so hard for, but it's also a danger to your family. Even children can be victims. It's not their money thieves go after, obviously, but their social security number. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Act now and save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Make 97.3 The Game your number one preset on our free iHeartRadio app. Powered by Gruber Law.
One call, that's all.
Injured?
Remember, one call, that's all.
Drew and KB on this Monday in the good land, 877-794-1973 if you'd like to drop in a late breaking game ball or kick to the balls. We're going to get to some hardcore sports momentarily, but first, on line one of the Nicolay Law and Talk and Text line is Smoke, formerly of Antigo. Aha! What's happening?
What's going on, Smoke?
Oh, not much. I just had a kick to the balls for that Badger offense. Oh, they're prepping the line split all over the field, and they got the snapper way over on the end of the line, and every time they did it, they got killed. What a waste of time. Embarrassing.
Oh, waste of time and embarrassing.
It was almost like when the Antigo played Merrill. Merrill was running all these reverses, and Antigo was kicking the heck out of them because they could block and tackle better.
That's right. You wouldn't Smoke. Remember, Gordy had 7 plays.
Yeah,
three runs to the right, 3 runs to the left, a pass. That was it.
Yeah. I played for Gordy.
And no kicker, right? Did
No
you just-
kicker.
No kicker.
No, because we had no exchange students.
Smoke from Anago joining the program. Thank you for the call, my man. That's a blast from the past for KB.
Smoke used to own Riverview Golf Course. That's where I grew up playing golf.
Outstanding.
Hunter. Smoke is a legend.
A legend. Hunter, hit us with some hardcore sports, would you please?
There's sports, and then there's hardcore sports. If you have an unquenchable thirst for sports, we satisfy every one of those desires. We give it to you the way you like it. Hardcore.
And Hardcore Sports is brought to you by Chico's Bail Bonds. You know, sometimes life takes an unsuspected turn. Next thing you know, you or someone you love ends up in jail. If you've been apprehended or detained, there's only one name to call: Chico's Bail Bonds. They have the experience and compassion to help you through the tough times because they've gone through the tough times themselves. Their bail consultants help you navigate the court system. And before you know it, you're back home with the people you love. Nobody plans to stay behind bars, but with Chico's Bail Bonds, you won't have to.
All right. Hardcore Sports has a real sponsor. We'll get to that after Hardcore Sports.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
When did they get a real sponsor?
Sponsored by the Drew and KB tailgate party at the Resch Pit Stop.
Oh.
That's right. You were there. 3.5 hours before every game. Stop at the Resch Expo Plaza with iHeartMedia, Drew and KB's Timeout Sports Lounge, if you will. It's free. No tickets, food, drinks, bands, the Bloody Mary Bar, the Cheap Shots Bar, the Tipsy Tapper beer trailer, sampling stations, and more right across from Lambeau Field on game day. Now,
that's
they don't
much
play until
better
later in
sponsor.
the month, but it's but when it fires up, you want to go to the Resch Plaza.
And that you do, because that's a blast.
It is. It's a good time. Hunter, what's the headlines of the day?
Yes, let's first start with the Brewers, who are in San Diego. Freddie Peralta on the mound for the Crew. He's got 17 wins on this season, and he is going against Nick Pivetta of the San Diego Padres. As you mentioned earlier, Padres can get into the playoffs tonight if they are victorious. Brewers trying to bounce back a little bit after losing 2 of 3 to the St. Louis Cardinals. Freddie Peralta, again, 17 wins. That's the most since a Brewers by a Brewers pitcher since Zach Davies in 2017. The last Brewers pitcher with 18 plus wins was Chris Capuano in 05.
Wow.
A product of Duke University. Great guy, left-hander.
Mm-hmm. That goes way back.
Yeah.
20 years. The Brewers have not had an 18-game winner. Freddie can do it tonight. In what may be his last start of the season, although well, he'll probably pitch a little this weekend because you'd go Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Sunday. You see Freddie? Maybe Saturday. We'll see.
If you
For a
pitch,
couple innings.
yeah, you might see Freddie on Sunday for a tune-up. I don't know if he'd pitch enough to get a decision.
Right.
Maybe not, but yeah, he would probably pitch. Yeah, especially if you're pitching game 1 later in the week. So yeah, I would say you'll see him probably Sunday.
Did we talk about this last week? Because when I saw Mike Caldwell at Kenny Sanders' golf outing, that there's only about 20, a little more than 20 complete games that have been pitched in the major leagues all season. And he did 23 in 1 year or 21 in 1 year.
I mean, that would make sense. It's so
Think about
rare.
that.
Yeah, the
So rare.
major league leader this year has 2, I think.
Wild.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. But yeah, Freddie can't get to 20, but getting 18 would be sweet, and just deny the Padres their champagne celebration because, again, they need a victory to get in.
Yes.
They're close.
Another record that is trying to be broken. Well, I don't know about trying is the right word. The poor guy got hit in the helmet yesterday, but Caleb Durbin has been hit 22 times now this season. It was 21 and 22 yesterday. The record is 25, held by Ricky Weeks and Fernando Vina. They are tied with that record.
Come
at
on,
25.
Caleb. Lean into some stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't get just close. You got to get there.
Yep. So let's actually, let's tie it at 25.
Come
Let's
on,
see.
no slacking off.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then of course Brewers are at 95 wins. So 1 win would match the franchise record for wins at 96. 2 wins the rest of the way would get them, or at least 2 wins would get them to 97. Of course, a 5-1 mark the rest of the way would get them to 100 wins. So they'd have to sweep one opponent to do that. Now, San Diego, of course, playing for something. Cincinnati will almost certainly be playing for something unless they just fall off the face, I guess, in the next 3 games. But most likely that won't happen. So the Reds will probably be coming to Milwaukee fighting for their playoff lives coming up this weekend, which will make it a little more interesting in that respect. Hopefully the Brewers have everything wrapped up by then. The magic number for them for the 1 seed in the National League is 3 over the Phillies. It is 1 over the Blue Jays. And so, again, you get those numbers to 0, and you have home field advantage throughout the playoffs and the best record in baseball in 2025. I mean, that is quite an accomplishment.
Magical.
It is.
Outstanding.
It is outstanding. Not so outstanding over the weekend was the Wisconsin Badgers loss to Maryland. We had Jim Polzin on earlier today for our Beers on the Table segment. You can find that on the Drew and KB podcast page, on the iHeartRadio app, or at thegameandstuff.com. But Jim Polzin, Wisconsin State Journal, covers the Badgers, of course, Packers as well. But he talked about kind of the ugliness of what was Saturday.
It's ugly, Drew. I honestly, I kept saying on Saturday, I can't believe this is where this program's at, right? You lose at Alabama and don't look very good, and that's one thing. But to come home and show no urgency and just over and over do things to get yourself beat and show no real fight against a team that you absolutely had no business losing to. It's just the schedule is tough, but that is one of the games you had to win. There's no reason this Wisconsin shouldn't have won that game. And you're right. Like all of a sudden, I was trying to before that game, I was trying to kind of convince myself that there was still a path to a bowl game. And now you look at it, they're not going to be favored. The path to 4-8 suddenly looks difficult. And that is it's a sad situation. And I don't know what the way out of it is.
Yeah. Kind of a
daunting.
And it's
daunting. Not undaunted. They're daunted.
Not undaunted. They're daunted.
And the way out of it isn't necessarily firing someone either. I think it's deeper than that.
How to win games. Yeah. It
may be a start, but
well, and as you got to listen to the whole conversation with Jim because he's terrific, but it's like, are you delaying the inevitable? Because where is it going to turn around? Where do they, how you always said, put a knot in the rope and hang on and try to pull yourself back up. Where's the knot in the rope? Like if they go through this season and don't win a game in the Big Ten, which now looks
entirely possible,
where do you go how do you build? How do you bounce off of that?
Because the rest of their games are not easy.
What I'm saying, yeah. So how do you create excitement about next year? Because we've been through the hype videos, we've been through the little bat signal thing.
It's not bad.
It's hard to, I guess, stay the course if you can. But wow, it's going to be hard to do. It's going to be rough. What else you got for us, Hunter?
Yes, well, the Brewers just dropped their lineup, so we're just going to shift gears right back to the Brewers because some good news. William Contreras is not only back in the lineup, but he's catching. And if you saw what happened to him Saturday night, that was a little scary. He gets hit on the half swing on his catching hand. He catches the one more batter, and then he comes back out, and he only can catch 2 pitches before he's taken out.
Oh, yeah, that was wicked.
That was, So that is really good news. He is batting 4th. And how about this? Christian Yelich is your leadoff hitter tonight.
First time this year, isn't it?
I think so.
That's wild.
Memory serves. So they've got a little bit, Murph's just going to play with the,
Well, why not?
Why not? See what works. You've got every other righty lefty here. You got Yelly to lead off, then Churio, then Terang, then Contreras, then Frelick, then Vaughn, then Collins, Durbin, and Ortiz. So basically, that's your A lineup. Now you could argue, to put Frelick at the top or Terang at the whatever you want to do, but that's positionally, I think that's your A lineup right now.
I would say yes, and it is weird that Yelly's leading off. I'm sure he's got a reason for it. They're facing a righty. Would they do that in the playoffs to have Yelly lead off?
Who knows?
He's such a great base runner. You do like having him on, but he's also a guy that, produces and kind of like him in that 3, somewhere between 3 and 5. That's interesting wrinkle. I can't wait to hear the explanation.
Absolutely. So 8:40, stay up with the crew tonight, late night crew. And they've got Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Padres, 8:40. And the baseball post-game show will air on 97.3 The Game in Milwaukee and the iHeartRadio app because it'll likely end after Monday Night Football, which will also air on 97.3 The Game in Milwaukee and the iHeartRadio app. The Lions and the Ravens in Baltimore.
That's a good matchup.
It is a really good matchup.
One of the better ones.
Go Ravens.
Yeah, why not? Packers play the Ravens later in the year, so it's a good chance to advance scout everybody.
Exactly. Do some scouting. So that is hardcore sports.
But do you know what you really need to know?
What do we need to know?
The biggest lie. Do you know what the biggest lie is that has ever been told?
Size doesn't matter.
No.
No.
No. I have read and agreed to the terms of use.
Oh. Click.
Because nobody ever has.
Nobody reads that. Legalese.
No.
My wife works on a lot of contracts, so she actually might come close, but click. Next.
Mm-hmm.
What are we signing away when we do that? I don't even want to know.
Oh, well, you're signing away your privacy.
That's for sure.
If you were to dive into that, it would tell you that you download
Your data's
Angry
being sold.
Yeah,
and
you download Angry Birds and that's it. Yeah. You're on the grid forever.
Everything you do online is being watched.
Everything.
Too. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. So that's the biggest lie.
The biggest lie. I have agreed to.
I can think of it. We should table that one and save that one for a rainy day.
What's the biggest lie you've ever told?
Common lies you ever told. That looks great on you.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a million of them.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yes. It should only take 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lie. When we come back, we will close up shop in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge. We'll hit you with our one for the road. And remind folks to check out thecentralstandard.com. Check out the Craft House and Kitchen, especially we got some nice weather, fall weather. It's awesome. The fall drinks there, the cocktail menu. Fantastic. The old fashions are always good, but there's something they hit different in the fall. It's awesome. So check out the Craft House and Kitchen and check out thecentralstandard.com. Back to wrap things up. Drew and KB statewide on the game.
Just gonna stand there and hear me cry. That's all right because I love the way you lie.
Drew Olson from 97 through the game for Pep's Draft House Pizza, the official pizza of the Timeout Sports Lounge. When it comes to pizza, there is no other pizza quite like Pep's Prohibition Special. It starts with a combination of sweet and slightly spicy Italian sausage, pepperoni, mushrooms, yellow, green, and red peppers, and just the right amount of red onions. Real Wisconsin mozzarella, and it's finished off with fresh Italian seasoning. My gosh, that's the good stuff. Make your house a draft house with Pep's Prohibition Special Pizza.
Guys, what's going on? Tim Allen joined Pipe Bomb and me tonight as we talk about the division champ Milwaukee Brewers. It's a 3-game set against the Padres. Post-game show with Potawatomi Sportsbook here on The Game.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
The Browns handed the Packers their first loss of the year after kicker Andre Schmidt nailed a 55-yarder as time expired. Green Bay will try to rebound Sunday night against Dallas. After clinching their third straight NL Central title over the weekend, the Brewers open a 3-game set with the Padres tonight as the regular season winds down. And Week 3 in the NFL wrapping up with a Monday Night Football showdown between the Ravens and Lions in Baltimore. I'm Frank Garrity.
Looking for an exceptional driving experience? Find it behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz SUV. Experience the power, precision, and intelligence of an iconic Mercedes-Benz SUV at your local Mercedes-Benz dealer today.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at GreatMidwestBank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
It's Brian Butch for Rehab Lab. As a former player and now dad of 3, my body has taken a beating. Sam and Nate from Rehab Lab have made me feel amazing in just 2 short visits. My hip has been bothering me for years, and it just couldn't get better. But after 2 short visits, Nate has my hip feeling great. At Rehab Lab, it's personal, it's intentional, and it's result-driven. And because of that, I'm moving like I should. Get back in the game. Book your appointment with Rehab Lab Wisconsin today.
Wisconsin, you know how to celebrate things when it comes to the fall. Football, the stretch run to playoff baseball. great weather, and old fashions. Celebrate this September all things Wisconsin with Central Standard Craft Distillery's North Brandy Old Fashions during Brandy Old Fashioned Month. Whether sweet, sour, or press, North Brandy works well for all of it. And being made right here in Wisconsin, we know just how to make the perfect brandy for you. So celebrate September being Brandy Old Fashioned Month and raise a glass or two and celebrate with us.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at your local retailer.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Alzheimer's disease is the sixth leading cause of death in the country, and it's affecting almost 7 million Americans, including 110,000 people here in Wisconsin. UW-Madison is working hard to improve the lives of those affected, offering resources to educate and the latest in research and technology. The UW Initiative to End Alzheimer's has so many ways you can benefit, learn, get involved, and make a difference. Visit goalsforacure.org. That's goalsforacure.org.
A shocking loss.
Placement made, kicked, and the upright is blocked. Blocked. Picked up by the Browns, Newsome.
We break it down with you now. It's Reaction Monday on The Game.
Time to shut it down in the Central Standard Distillery Timeout Sports Lounge, our happy hour oasis. Happy you've been hanging out with us since 2 o'clock. Moving forward, Hunter's going to do a baseball pregame show here on 97.3 The Game in Milwaukee. You can hear it on the iHeartRadio app as well. You got the lineup to talk about, and
Yes.
Yelich leading off. That's interesting. He's also got a lot of sound racked up from last night, from yesterday, and the celebration in St. Louis. It's the ultimate hangover game for the Brewers. The Padres are motivated, and they can clinch a playoff berth with a victory tonight. But that doesn't mean anything. Hashtag baseball. Brewers got the A-team out there. Probably the playoff starting lineup is on the field tonight.
Down to the last few games.
Who knows?
Put the hammer down.
And as we get ready for Monday Night Football, an interesting report, Baltimore and the Lions for the second straight week. Jair Alexander is inactive for the Ravens.
Wow.
He was not listed on the injury report at any time during this week. And he's inactive.
Interesting.
I guess maybe any feelings of remorse we had about the Packers parting ways. Maybe they were misplaced.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they were misplaced. Well, time for one for the road. We pour our Central Standard drinks into a cup and hit the streets. KB, what's in your cup? What's your one for the road?
I think the all around it kind of sucked as a sports fan in Wisconsin this weekend. The Brewers lose, although they did clinch.
Lost 2 out of 3.
The Badger game was god awful. Obviously, the Packers game was a disappointment. But Jim Polzin, who said, "I don't see a real good clear path to 4-8."
I don't see a clear path to 3-8 right now.
I mean, that was not.
It's like, prove me wrong, but I'm going to be a pessimist for the rest of this year.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know what the problem is, but it's got to be deeper than just fire the coach, because it can't work that way anymore.
Hunter, what's in your cup?
I think my cup is that, hey, I'm happy the division is wrapped up. And the Brewers, of course, have 6 games left now to grab the 1 seed, get everything set in order. And we now know that game 1 of the playoffs, Saturday, October 4th at American Family Field.
Outstanding. My cup is Packers are not a lost cause. It was an ugly loss. But you're going to stub your toe at some point, and they weren't going to go undefeated. Sorry, Rashid.
Yep.
I had no faith that they were going to go.
But you know what? Just an excited kid.
That's right. Tomorrow on the program, we'll talk to Wayne Larrabee, the voice of the Packers, Bill Schroeder from FanDuel Sports Wisconsin. Shanna Quinn will talk about her gender reveal, which was pretty cool if you didn't see it on the socials.
She's not a woman?
And we'll buy and sell with Urchel Real Estate. See you, too.
Make good choices.
97.3 The Game.